sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Tumber, this is your former wife and her present husband, and the two of you have been divorced for some time. You have a 17-year-old son. I assume that that is this young man over here.
That's
is that
correct.
right? According to the complaint that I've read, recently, after your divorce and after your former wife was remarried, she ran into some financial difficulty and called you and asked you for a loan. You obliged, according to you, advanced her some money, I think $750.
That's correct.
You want the money back.
Correct.
And in addition, your former wife and her husband purchased a car for your son.
Correct.
And you invested some money in that car in repairing it.
Correct.
Then you decided to buy your son a newer car. And according to you, there was an understanding that they would reimburse you when they sold the old car for the money that you had invested in it so that you could sort of put it towards the new car that you were buying for him.
Correct.
They sold the car and they didn't give you the money that you had invested in it.
Correct.
So you also want that money.
Correct.
Okay. When did your former wife call you for this initial loan?
It was around the beginning of this year, but around January.
What happened? You ran into some
2004.
financial difficulty?
The financial difficulty wasn't about me necessarily. It was regarding my son and expenses that we had with the car, with medical, and with a phone bill.
What do you mean the car? What kind of expenses?
Okay, the car that we purchased for my son was a car that we knew...
I don't care what you knew. You had expenses because you had to have it fixed?
Yes.
And how much did you need to have the car fixed?
There were different parts that we needed to buy. My husband did the repairs.
So you spent some of the money that he gave you to fix the car?
Correct.
How much?
The total that we spent on the repairs, just the parts alone of the receipts I could find,
Yes.
was $224
Okay.
and 3 cents
$224 to fix the car.
for the parts.
Fine. I don't care what your husband's labor was. That's not important to me. What else did you need money for?
My son had a cell bill.
Who bought him a cell phone?
I did.
So why was it your former husband's responsibility?
It wasn't, except for my son went over the minutes, and he did this more than one occasion.
Did your former wife tell you, Mrs. Satango, tell you that this money she was asking you for was for your son?
No, Your Honor,
What did she
didn't.
tell you?
It was for mortgages on the home that she was in arrears of.
Were you in arrears on your mortgage?
I was never in arrears on my mortgage.
Did you tell him that you needed money to pay your mortgage?
I told him that I couldn't pay the mortgage and everything else, that my son's cell bill was so much money, my son's medical bills that the insurance didn't cover was so much money.
You pay child support, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How much do you pay?
Just shy of $600 a month, I believe.
Okay. How much money did you
Your
give?
Honor, that's not true.
How much does he give you?
$370 a month.
How do you account for the discrepancy, Mr. Tumber?
I'm not sure how much I pay, to be honest with you, Your Honor.
So why don't you say, I'm not sure? I don't know is something that a man can say.
I don't know.
3 little words.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Correct, thank you.
Well, you should know how much child support you pay. Do you pay it pursuant to income deduction order?
Yes.
So it comes right out of your pay?
Right out of my check, yes.
So it's not $600, it's $370 a month, according to you. Is that what you receive, or do you receive more if there is some in arrears?
$370 a month, Your Honor.
Period.
Period.
Okay, fine. How much money did you loan to her, sir?
$750.
Well, that's not true, Your Honor.
Show me.
Your Honor, I'd like to
You have a
submit...
check?
Yes.
Let me see it,
Canceled
please.
checks with her signature on them.
Your Honor, he could have written anything in after the fact.
No, I'm just looking at the canceled checks, madam. And I'm even looking for the memo. The memo is irrelevant. You owe him $750. I think it's very nice that you can call him and say, listen, I ran into some financial difficulties and I need some money and your son lives with me, so could you do it for me?
But, Your Honor, that's not how it happened.
Did you sell the car? We're
Yes,
going to
we
get to the
sold the
car
car.
now.
But-
Just a second. We're going to get to the car. You and your husband bought a car, and you bought a car for your son. And according to you, some of the money that you got from him was used to fix the car.
Correct.
Right. Then you sold the car.
Correct.
How much money did you give him?
There-
I just answer my question. How
Zero.
much money did you give
Zero.
him? Zero. How much did you sell the car for?
$1,000.
Well, if he paid for the parts to fix the car, why didn't you think it was appropriate that if he was buying your son a new car, for you not to at least reimburse him for what he had spent? Don't you think that that's appropriate? Fair? Reasonable? If I believe you, Mrs. Satango, if I believe you, You were able to call your former husband and say to him, despite the fact that you are under a court order and pay child support, it's not enough. Because I have some bills that I'm having trouble paying for our son. He went over his minutes on a cell phone that I bought him. That's not his fault. You choose to buy him a cell phone, 17-year-old kid, and he's not responsible enough? That's not his father's problem because you provided him with the vehicle to be irresponsible. But he was, according to you, he was a nice guy and said, here's the money. According to you, he was a nice guy when you say I had to fix the car and I need some parts. According to you, he was a nice guy, gave you the money. According to you, despite the fact that he pays child support and is not in arrears, he had some unreimbursed medical bills, and he said, here's the money. So I'm asking you, if he was a nice guy, how come when you sold the car and he was buying him a new car, you didn't say, here's the money that you laid out for the parts?
The car was bought because the car that we bought for my son wasn't good enough, wasn't cool enough. They bought the car. I had nothing to do with that, neither did my husband. We have endured financial difficulty. We did not say that we were going to give him the money. It wasn't for my son to barter. It wasn't for him to barter. We paid the mortgage with the money, and that's the circumstance we're under right now.
So why didn't you just say that to me instead of giving me a whole lot of who shot John? You paid the mortgage. You borrowed money from him and paid a mortgage.
I thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be moral. You're supposed to be a moral example for your child. You are not.
I am not.
No, you are not.
And later today,
The only thing that saved my dog's life is the fact that she's 90 pounds.
I saw the dogs basically tearing it apart.
If she had been a smaller dog, the injuries would have killed her.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paul Tumber says ex-wife Stephanie Sotenko owes for a loan and for proceeds from the sale of their son's vehicle.
Listen, you're a nice guy and she owes you $750 because I believe it was a loan. Now, you tell me about the contract that you say you had with her with regard to paying you back for the money that you invested in the old car.
Okay, well, the verbal contract was that when the vehicle was sold, that I would recoup the money for the parts for the repairs, which I have canceled checks for right here.
Can I see them, please?
And
who
there
did you
never
make
was
this,
a
who did
mention-
you make?
I'm sorry?
Who did you make this contract with, sir?
With Stephanie.
Can I say something, Your Honor, or do I need to speak in turn? Or
No, now you tell me.
as far as the car, how many fathers give money toward repairs of their son's car and then ask for it back after the car is sold?
Well, let me tell you what usually happens. Usually, if boy has a car and if he wants a better car, and his parents, they are reasonable, say, listen, we'll sell this car, we'll use whatever money we get from this car, we'll put it towards another car. That's what parents do. What you did was you took money from your former husband, because these are your canceled
I didn't
checks.
take money
yes,
toward the
No, yes, you did.
Your Honor, I did not ask him for the money for the parts for the car. He willingly gave me that money.
Because he's a nice guy.
So he was a nice guy and did that for our son.
Just a second, he's a nice guy.
And
you're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be moral. You're supposed to be a moral example for your child. You are not.
I am not?
No, you are not. You are not.
Okay.
Because if he is being a nice guy, what you're supposed to be is a moral example for your son and say, listen, we sold the car for $1,000. You put in practically that. I'm speaking. You put in practically that. I'll be more than happy to give that money towards the new car so that we will jointly, in some way, have contributed to the car that our son is driving. You chose not to do that. You owe him the money for the repairs to the car because I believe you had an agreement, if you sold the car, to give him back that money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,595. That's it.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You are excused. You may step out.
If I had had the money, morally, I would have given the money.
I'm in a financial position. I don't make a lot of money, that I just wanted my funds back.
I didn't really want to be here, but I guess it's the best way to do it.
It's no love lost between my son and I.
Be sure that you know what and who you're dealing with.
Did we learn anything today? I don't really think so.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Valerio versus Gunderson, step forward.
Customer service rep Summer Valerio is suing fellow dog owner, 21-year-old customer service rep Gabe Gunderson for vet bills. Summer says Gabe's pit bull attacked her dog.
Miss Valerio, You claim that the defendant's dog injured your dog during a fight.
Yes.
And you want the defendant to pay the vet bills
Correct.
for your dog. Mr. Gunderson says that there was a dog fight. Your dog got the worst of the fight, and your dog shouldn't have been there anyway. So you'll explain that to me. What kind of a dog do you have?
She's a Mastiff Lab mix.
That's a big dog.
Yes.
And where was the dog?
In March of 2004, I made arrangements with Janice Rawson to keep my dogs at her house because she had just bought a house, and me and my boyfriend at the time broke up, and I was moving into a condo and didn't feel it was fair to take my 2 large dogs to a condominium with me. So she agreed to keep the dogs, and I continued to pay for their food and their vet bills while they were in her care until I made new living arrangements.
Just a second. So you left your dogs with this lady
Yes.
in March. Step up. What's your name?
My name's Janice Rawson.
You have a large piece of property?
It's a house with a yard.
You have your own dogs?
No.
What kind of dogs? One was a Mastiff mix, and what was the other?
Pit Bull Boxer mix.
Also a big dog.
Yes.
Who else lives in your house?
At the time when I moved in, it was Jeffrey, her now husband, and Dustin.
Jeffrey, her now husband.
The
Valerio.
boyfriend I had
I'm sorry.
separated from. And then we got back together and got married. But it was a temporary separation. He was living with her with the dogs there at the time.
Oh. So not only did you place your dogs with her, but you placed your ex-boyfriend there, too.
Yes.
Now, tell me about Mr. Gunderson.
Mr. Gunderson moved in with me when
What
summer.
do you do, rent rooms?
Yes. I have
Okay.
a 4-bedroom house.
Okay, so you rented a room
Yes.
to him. Okay.
Mr. Gunderson moved in with me when Jeffrey moved in with Summer, and they got married, and then I rented a room to Gabe.
So Mr. Gunderson moved in with a...
Male pit bull.
So now you have 3 dogs in
3
your house.
dogs.
Is that the dog that injured her dog?
No, that's a separate dog.
Well, where did the separate dog come from?
We went on vacation to San Diego. We were told by Jeffrey. Me, Janice, a different group of friends of ours. We were told by Jeffrey before we left on a certain date the dogs would be gone. We get back from San Diego. I pick up the dog who got
Picked
to
up
the
what
fight.
dog?
The dog that's the reason why we're here. The one that attacked her dog. Or
You
got
mean a
into fight
second
with
dog?
us.
You picked
The
up a second dog.
Right. Picked that dog up. I got home, found out that Jeff and Summer did not live up to their end of the bargain as far as taking those dogs back like we were told.
Your Honor.
Well, why did you need a second dog?
I asked Janice. I wanted a female so I can breed. I asked Janice. She said that'd be fine.
Is that right?
Yes, but the condition was that he could only get the second dog when her dogs were gone, and it wasn't an exact date of when they were going to take the dogs back. It was a hopeful date. So he should have made sure that the dogs were gone before he actually picked up the pit bull.
Well, he didn't. So on what date did you pick up the pit bull?
October 9th
And what date was this fight that caused the injury to Miss Valerio's dog?
on the 28th, same month.
So why didn't you tell me how to get rid of the dog?
Well, I like dogs, and it's not, and the family who had the dog before couldn't keep the dog, and so it didn't really have anywhere to go back to except for the pound, and I didn't want to see that happen, so...
Okay, so you allowed him to keep
Yeah.
the dog there. Fine.
Yes.
Now tell me about the fight.
My other witness here is the one that broke up the dog fight and basically saved my dog's life.
Is that right?
Yes.
Good. Between the 9th of October and the day that this happened, did you visit your dogs?
Yes, and I actually, a couple weekends prior, had taken Justice to my house for the weekend. I would take her sometimes for 3 or 4 days at a time.
So you knew he had both dogs there?
Yes, but I did not know that that dog had a history of being aggressive. He, on the other hand, did.
Were you home when Miss Valerio's dog was injured?
No, no.
You were? Step up. Tell me your name. Miss Rushton, you may sit down.
Noelle Cook.
I'll hear you.
Okay. I was at home, and I just heard the dogs fighting in the backyard, and I went to look over the fence, and I saw the dogs, his female and kind of his male. His male kept coming in and out of the fight. They had her dog pinned on the ground and basically tearing it apart.
And I have pictures, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
And also her vet bills and her medical records.
I'd like to see the pictures first.
If I may say, the vet did say that the only thing that saved my dog's life is the fact that she's 90 pounds. If she had been a smaller dog, the injuries would have killed her.
Mr. Gunderson, you understand, sir, that sometimes pit bulls have been known to be aggressive dogs. Is that right?
Yes.
How did you find out about the dog?
They lived actually across the street from a friend of mine. I've seen them before. Saw an ad in the paper. I called them, found out that it was the same people. So I've talked to them. I've seen the dog before, been around the dog before. It wasn't a big issue.
Did they have children?
They have one kid, yes.
And they felt that the dog was not appropriate to live with.
Well, they have two other dogs.
Look at me.
They have two other dogs.
They felt that the dog was not appropriate to live with them. Otherwise, what reason do you have to get rid of a dog?
Yeah, well,
if you have other dogs, it's not an allergy. Is that right? Mr. Gunderson, pay careful attention. I'm very smart. This dog, you knew that the dog had had some problems. Is that right?
Right.
Who do you think is responsible, therefore, for a dog that has had certain problems in the past when the dog attacks again?
The owner of that dog.
That's you. You were aware of the dog's previous problems with the prior owner. Why you would choose to take a dog that had had problems, I don't know. And why you would choose to breed a dog that had prior problems, I for sure don't know. You have an answer to either of those questions?
I knew about the situation. I explained to Janice before I even got the dog.
I'm not talking about Janice. I'm asking you why you would choose to take a dog that had problems.
Because I had nowhere to go, so I took it.
And why, if it had nowhere else to go when you know the dog has certain character problems, why would you choose to breed a dog like that?
It's one fight. I didn't think it'd be a big deal, to be honest.
Well,
I've
now
been
you
around.
know better, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now I'll see the vet bills. That was easy.
Your Honor, each page is an individual invoice. The total actually came to what I wrote on the front. And she had to be kept in the hospital for 7 days.
Do you understand, sir? We all make certain choices when we get a pet. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to choose a pet that doesn't have violent propensities. You chose a pet that you knew had had problems enough so that a prior owner was looking to get rid of it. You took it. Not only did you take it, but you made a choice, because one of the reasons that you told me you chose to take this dog is because you wanted to breed it, to propagate whatever character flaws that this dog had. That is stupid. Very stupid. It's going to cost you $2,455.50. That's all. Step out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. May step out. Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 472 on the calendar in the matter of Weaver versus Wisner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, according to your complaint, you hired the defendant to perform your wedding ceremony, and you paid her $150?
Yes.
And Ms. Wisner didn't come to the ceremony. She came about an hour late after you called her. She gave you your money back, $150, and did what she had to do because somebody else had performed the ceremony, so she signed the marriage certificate. She apologized, she gave you back your money, and now you want tons of money for your aggravation.
You don't want tons.
Well, you paid her $150, and you're suing her for $1,000.
Yep.
First of all, she didn't apologize.
Well, she apologized by giving you back your money.
That doesn't make up for keeping a room full of people waiting. I mean, when it's your wedding day, that's the last thing you think of is that your preacher's not going to show up.
Terrible.
Yep. And then she sits in an 8-by-8 room waiting for her to come in. It just...
Mr. Weaver, I'm going to let you do the entire thing. You contacted her. The wedding was supposed to take place when and what time?
December 30th at 6:30 p.m.
And she didn't show up. She wasn't there at 6:30, so you called her.
Right.
And what time did you call her?
I got right here on my cell phone bill. It was 6:34. I called.
And did you get her on the phone?
No, left a message.
Okay, and then what happened?
I tried her cell phone at 6:44.
And did you get her?
No, left a
ahead.
message. Then I tried again at 6:57.
Okay.
Got a hold of her.
Good. And what did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I said, Miss Wisner, Stu Weaver, aren't you supposed to be somewhere about now? And she goes, oh my God, was that tonight? And I go, yes, I think it was. And she goes, well, I've had travel problems. And I said, I don't hear about your travel problems. I have people here from Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Florida. She goes, well, we got laid over in Atlanta. And I said, so this is what you call taking $150 of money and run. And she goes, oh my, don't say that. And I says, we have someone we think that'll perform the ceremony.
And who was that?
That was a co-worker of Lisa's.
Well, how could she perform the ceremony?
She is an ordained minister for her church.
Oh, good.
But she is not recognized by the state of Ohio.
Okay, but she's an ordained minister for the church, and
Yes,
she's
ma'am.
performed...
And she did not get there until about 7 o'clock herself.
But she was a guest.
Yes, she was a guest.
We have,
she had never performed a wedding before.
Okay, she was a guest. She got there at 7. You asked her to perform the wedding.
Yes.
What time was the ceremony performed?
Let's say about 7:15.
It was
Okay. And how many people did you have at the wedding?
Between 80 and 85.
Now, you told Miss Wisner to come because she had to sign the certificate.
I asked if she could come and sign the marriage certificate.
And what did
Correct.
she say?
She says, well, I don't think I can make it tonight. Can we arrange it tomorrow? And I says, well, yeah, if you can fly to Hawaii tomorrow, because we leave at 5:30 in the morning for Hawaii.
Okay, and what did she say?
He hauled around a little bit. Of course, she was ill like I am today. So, and she goes, well, I will be there when I can get there.
And what time did she arrive?
I think it was around 9:30.
And what did she do when she arrived at 9:30?
Well, she come in the door and we filled out the form and she signed a marriage certificate and then she handed over a check.
And what did she say when she handed over the check?
She says it's the first time in 12 years. This has never happened in 12 years.
Okay, and you took the check?
Yes.
Good. What happened to your travel plans?
We had planned a trip out here to be with family at Christmas time, and it truly was the trip to hell and back. We ended up our first night out spending the night on the airport floor in Cincinnati, and finally made it to California. Everything absolutely went wrong through the whole trip. We got on the plane on December 29th. We were to have been home that night. We ended up being stuck in Atlanta that night. We didn't get back until December 30th in the afternoon. In the meantime, I got very ill, and the stress of the trip and everything, I just went right to bed, thinking that I know I have a ceremony the day after we get home, and I was in such a muddle that it didn't occur to me that that was the day. I was thinking it was the next day.
Okay. You got there at 9:30?
No.
What time did you get there?
I didn't get there any later than 7:30 because I was home by 8 o'clock and back in bed.
And how far do you live from where the wedding was?
About 15 minutes.
Okay. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, you got married that day, correct?
Yes.
And you were married by 7:15.
Yes.
45 minutes after the invitations said that the wedding was going to take place, because the invitations called for 6:30.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. That is right.
Okay. Everybody knows when invitations read 6:30, wedding usually starts about a half hour later.
No.
Her contract.
6:30 is when
No,
the wedding.
that's not what I'm saying to you, sir.
Well, Miss Wisner.
I'm speaking. All I want you to tell me is what you're suing for. I want to hear what you're suing for.
Okay, we're suing for. Here we go. We had to pay the DJ, which I have evidence of, an extra $150.
Good.
And I have my future wife in an 8x8 bathroom for 45 minutes.
Not knowing if we're going to have a wedding or
So,
not.
yeah,
We have a
you're
room
right.
full of people. She was supposed to be there at 6 p.m. to do a rehearsal. She said if you don't have a formal rehearsal the night before, that she requires that you be there 30 minutes prior to the start of the ceremony to go do a walkthrough. Well, we had none of that. And she's talking about a stressful trip. We had a very, very stressful wedding.
I understand that. I understand. How do you put
But she
it
didn't
down?
even say she was sorry that
I
night.
did.
Not
I
to me.
apologize profusely. You wouldn't
We have
even,
witnesses.
you
Don't
wouldn't
do me
even
a favor,
look at
don't.
me for me to apologize
If
to
you're going
you.
to, don't speak to each other.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Now, Mrs. Weaver, I can understand your stress, but I don't understand why you choose to prolong that stress by instituting a lawsuit for $1,000 for stress when you got married, and whether it was from 7:15 or 7:45 until the wedding was over, I assumed that you danced together because you had a DJ. I assumed that you had dinner. I assumed that you conversed with friends. I assumed that you told this story innumerable times that the minister didn't show up for your wedding. You know, that will make a good story for you to tell 20 years from now. What I don't understand is why you choose to prolong whatever stress you had by bringing on a lawsuit. I could understand that if she didn't give you your money back, but she came and without even you asking, she handed you back your check, which indicates to me that she felt terrible about what had happened.
We still feel that we should have had a phone call.
She didn't even
She had
call.
all 3 numbers to call and say, hey, I'm
She
not
just said to you, sir, she got into bed and she really thought in her own mind that the wedding was scheduled for the day after she got back. It was a big mistake. And according to you, you said to me, when you got her on the phone, she said to you, oh, is that today? Which pretty much is what she says, that she thought it was the next day. How could she have called you? What was she supposed to do, call you and tell you, I think I have a wedding tomorrow? She made a mistake. Mistakes don't always comport
but
to
in
a
that
lawsuit.
profession, that's not a mistake. In that profession, that is not a mistake.
Now, what do you do for a living?
I drive a truck.
Ever make a mistake?
Yes.
Ever not get to where you're supposed to get on time?
Yes.
Did your boss dock you
Yes.
because you made a mistake? How would you feel if he turned around and sued you for his aggravation for an additional $1,000? Just a minute. I'm asking you a question. Would you think that your boss was out of order if he turned around and said, you know, I had a lot of people on my tail because you didn't get there on time, so in addition to docking you, I'm going to sue you for $1,000 or $2,000 for my aggravation? Would you think he was stupid?
He could do that, I guess.
I said, would you think he was stupid?
No.
Sure you would. And I think
No.
similarly. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I told you not to come on this show.
Really, the main thing that I wanted, it was the principle of the thing. An apology would have been nice that night.
I did apologize profusely, but Mrs. Weaver would not make eye contact with me and would not speak to me.
It was terrible. I mean, I'm in this little room and there's no preacher there.
Panic, yeah. Panic's the word.
I think people create their own disasters and their own problems, and they need to take life as it comes.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jaramillo versus Adamo. Step forward, please.
Administrative assistant Catherine Jaramillo is suing the mother of her daughter's ex-boyfriend, medical transcriber Barbara Adamo, for a loan to catch up on her bills.
Ms. Jaramillo, according to what I've read in your complaint, your daughter and the defendant's son used to date.
Yes.
And that's how you knew her.
Yes.
How long did they date?
About 3 years.
And Miss Adamo at some point had some financial difficulties. You claim a series of loans to her, loans amounting to $2,950.
Yes.
The kids are no longer an item, they're no longer together. Miss Adamo says that while maybe she acknowledges one loan to help her pay her rent, she'd never received any other money from you. And in addition, she says that there was some sort of a set-off for that rent money, which she's going to tell me about. When and why did you make the first loan?
My daughter came to me and said, you know, can you help her out a little bit? They don't have any food in their house. Both of her sons were living there at the time. She had 4 kids there at the time. And they didn't have any groceries, and she didn't have any money. So I said, sure. So I gave my daughter $100 to take over there so that she could go grocery shopping.
Okay. That's not a loan.
Right.
That's
right.
a gift.
Oh, right, I understand that.
Okay. Did she call you and thank you?
Yes, she did.
Tell me about that conversation.
She just said that she was always out of money, that she was having to go to check cashing places and get payday advances, that no one had ever really sat down and taught her how to pay her bills or how to budget her money. And I told her that I could help her do that because I, too, am a single mom with 3 kids. So we sat down and we wrote down everything she owed, all of her regular monthly bills, a few outstanding debts that she had, how much she made, how much she was capable of making, because if she works more, she can make more. And
what kind of work were you doing, Miss Adamo?
I do medical transcription.
You are an independent contractor?
No. I work at a hospital, but I have incentive. Anything over 1,000 lines a day, we get an additional 7.5 cents per line.
So you sat down with her. Do you remember when that was?
It was in November.
It was in December of 2003.
Okay. Go ahead.
In December of 2003, I asked her if she would help me with my budgeting. So she said, yes, I will help you because she's really good with money. And so I went to her house and we sat down and we put all the bills on the table and we went through the whole thing. And she said to me, tomorrow I'm going to go and get a money order for $1,350 and you're going to take it and pay your rent with it. And I said, wait, Kathy, I don't know when I can pay back $1,350.
Well, your rent was due. How were you going to pay your rent?
I didn't know at that point.
Well, you had to, just Miss Adamo, you had to pay your rent.
Right. So she gave me the money order for $1,350 a day later.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what arrangements did you make to pay her back?
We had no arrangements at that point. She said we'd talk about it after the holidays. That's what she said to me.
Just a second. You mean she said we would talk about how you were going to pay her back after the holidays?
After the holidays.
So it was a loan?
Yes. Oh, it was a loan. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't clear on that.
No, it was a loan.
Fine.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, you must have a bank statement if you say you withdrew money.
I didn't ever think that I would need them.
Well, you need them when you come to court.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Jaramillo says former friend Barbara Adamo owes for a loan to pay bills.
Now, did the plaintiff's daughter give you $100 for groceries?
Yes, she did.
When?
Probably in November. That was before the $13.50.
Now, when was the second amount of money that you gave her?
The same day as the money order. I had my daughter go down to the bank and get the cash out.
For what?
Because when we sat down and we wrote down all of her bills, everything that she owed, I told her that I could loan her the money to pay all of this off so that she could start fresh. And she said that every year she got a really big tax check and that it would be February, March, and that she would be able to pay me back all of this. I completely wiped out all of her debt. She's never disputed that she's owed me this money until today.
Just a minute. How much did you give her in addition to the $13.50?
I gave her $600.
Is that right, Ms. Adamo?
That's not right.
How much did she give you?
The only cash she ever gave me was the $100 in November, and then I received a money order for $13.50. I never, ever received any more cash after that point, ever.
Okay. Let us assume for the moment, just other than the $1,350 and what you claim is a $600 cash loan, is there any other money that you loaned her?
Yes, I gave her $600 right before Christmas because they didn't have a tree. She wasn't going to be able to get the kids anything.
Do you have any proof of that?
No, I do not.
Well, you must have a bank statement if you say you withdrew money.
We no longer have those. I didn't ever think that I would need them.
Well, you need them when you come to court.
Right.
And you knew you were coming. Shh, listen to me. And you knew you were coming to court.
Right.
So it's very easy to call the bank and say, get me a duplicate statement. Right?
Right.
That's a no-brainer. Okay. $1,350. Let's go.
Okay. And then my son graduated from boot camp, and I took Andy and her daughter, which she was supposed to reimburse me for that trip, which I have plane tickets and stuff, and that was supposed to come off the $13.50 that I owed her. And all of this was verbal. We never wrote anything down because we were friends at the time. I was very grateful for what she had done for me.
So you should have paid her back.
Yes.
And you still should pay her back.
Well, I did.
You explained to me how you paid her back. And give me the whole story. You were going to visit your son.
Yes.
And at that time, your son and her daughter were an item.
Correct.
And your son wanted you to bring his girlfriend.
Actually,
look, your son wanted you to bring his girlfriend.
Yes, he wanted to see her.
Right. And she said, let me just speculate. She said, she's not going. I don't have the money for her to go.
No, that's not what she said. As a matter of fact, I asked the daughter not to go because at that point I thought I was only going to have 5 hours to spend with my son because right after graduation he was being sent to Florida.
According to your answer, madam, you said, I spoke to Kathy and she said she wasn't willing to pay for the expenses for Andy and her friend. That's what you swore to in your answer.
Right. So we were supposed to take it out of the $13.50. She wasn't supposed to give me the money. That's what we did. That's what we agreed upon.
Go ahead.
That is simply not true. My daughter was going to go see her boyfriend graduate. I paid for the trip. That was her birthday present for me. She bought the tickets online. I went over there and took her the cash for the tickets. Well, I paid for her trip, plus I gave her money to spend while she was there.
Let me ask you this question. Why would you give her money if she owed you all this money?
Because she wouldn't have the money to buy the tickets, and I wanted my daughter to go. She wanted to go. She did not want my daughter to go.
I didn't want her to go because of the fact that we only had a couple hours. So I asked her, let me just spend those few hours with my son. I've only got 5 hours with him. She threw such a fit. And Andy did. Her daughter threw such a fit.
Her daughter did. And what about your son?
My son understood that I only had the 5 hours at that point. At first, he did want her to go.
Listen to me. Your son wanted his girlfriend there.
Of course he did.
Your son wanted his girlfriend.
Of course
It's
he
very
did.
nice to see his mother.
Absolutely.
Mother, I want to see my girlfriend.
Right.
If my mother brings my girlfriend, I'd be happy to see my mother. But put your hand down. But if I had to choose, you said my girlfriend. And you can write me a long letter. All right, you owe $1,350. That's what I'm satisfied she gave you as far as a loan is concerned. As far as the rest of the cash that you gave her, I'm not comfortable with awarding her that cash because you had the opportunity to have proof here before me that you did, in fact, at least take the money out of the bank. You chose, that was a conscious choice, not to do that. And I don't believe that there was any sort of a set-off for these plane tickets. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,350. That's all.
Please excuse me. All rise. Yes, this is case number 468 on the calendar in the matter of Broussard versus D'Alessandro. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Broussard, this young lady used to be your landlord.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she embarked upon a course of conduct of harassment, filing false restraining orders against you, ultimately evicting you from the place where you had lived for some period of time. You want to be compensated for that.
Right.
And Ms. D'Alessandro said everything that she said was in her applications were true, and you were a terrible tenant. You also have a claim against her for slander. You say that when you ultimately applied to other apartments to rent, and they called her to verify your tenancy, she said bad things about you, so it made it virtually impossible for you to get another apartment.
That's correct.
Now, I gather, Mr. Broussard, that you lived in this house. It was a house?
She lived in the house up front. I lived in an apartment in the back.
And you had lived there prior to Miss D'Alessandro moving in because a relative of hers owned the house, and you were the relative's tenant.
Right.
Who was the relative?
My mother.
And what was her name?
Loretta Wallace.
When did you first move into this apartment in the back?
It was approximately 7 years ago.
Did Loretta Wallace ever bring eviction proceedings against you?
Never.
When for the first time did you file notice to quit or pay against the plaintiff?
That would have been in early October 2003.
What happened?
After I had received title to the house, or during the time the transfer was going on, I was in the process of sort of getting my ducks in the row to start making renovations on the apartment building.
What apartment building?
There's the house in the front is where I live. There's a 3-unit apartment building at the rear of the property. And
you live in one of those units?
Right.
Go ahead.
Everything was going smoothly as far as I was concerned, and I had actually started to make renovations in one of the other apartments and had told Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend, I said, look, you know, I'm going to be doing the same thing to your unit at some point very soon, and, you know, just to let them know what was going on and that I didn't forget about them.
When you were making the renovations in the other unit, where were the tenants in the other unit?
That unit was vacant, and the renovations were very extensive.
Go ahead.
So at the end of September, I was at home and I was watering the lawn, and Mr. Broussard came and knocked on my screen door and was complaining about the fact that water was getting on his girlfriend's car. And I told him, I said, you know what, just a minute, I'm on the phone, I'll be with you as soon as I can. He insisted, and he became belligerent, and I stepped outside of the kitchen because I was going to go to the back and simply turn the water off just to get him off of my back. And then he engaged in this verbal tirade in my face so close that he started to spit on me. And it was at that time, it was like, okay, you know what, that's it. You know, I had to do what I felt I needed to do in order to ensure my personal safety, because I was living on the property at the same time, and I didn't feel comfortable with him being there anymore, let alone the fact that he and his girlfriend were going to have to move anyway, because I was going to have to gut the unit to renovate it.
Got it?
Got it.
I didn't have any problems with them, and neither
Let me
did my
ask you this
mother.
question, sir. You want to give me your version of what happened?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
On that date in
Part
October?
of that was true. She did have the sprinklers up real high, and she was home. I went and knocked on the door. I said, Maria, you're soaking our cars. And she looked at me and she said, well, you should have moved them, and slammed the door in my face. And I was shocked. I guess I was holding the screen door, and I must have closed it too hard, and I really upset her. Next thing I know, she comes flying out the door, getting in my face. Now, she's a woman, challenging me as if she's a man. We exchanged a few words, a few unpleasantries, I won't lie about that. But I never put my hands on her, and I called myself, so you know what? Let me get away from her before she says I did something to her, before somebody sees me arguing with a woman. As I'm walking away, her boyfriend comes flying up, and I'm walking away going to my house. He comes and gets in my face, and he says, well, basically, Derek, you and Denise have to move. I said, who are you? He said, that's my girlfriend.
Would you stand up straight, please?
I said, well, this doesn't concern you. I said, I can stay here as long as I want to. You don't have anything to do with this property or this matter. I said, get out of my face. So I turned and I walked in the house. And me knowing her, the type of person she is, I knew she was going to do something treacherous, you know, by the first of the month. We decided we're going to make sure this rent is due exactly on the 1st. I don't want any funny business with her. Well, we paid our rent on the 1st. She accepted the rent. I have a canceled check. I have a receipt.
Can I see it, please? Stella Sandro, did you speak to an attorney before you decided that Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend were going to have to move so that you can do renovations?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And did the attorney tell you that you can't have them move just because you decided to do renovations on their unit?
No, he did not.
He should have.
Well, and that was
He should have.
Ma'am, that was not the reason why I proceeded with the eviction proceedings against
yes,
Mr.
it was.
Broussard.
Just
No,
a second.
it was not.
Oh, yeah, it was.
No, it was not.
The coincidence of you renovating one apartment and then saying to me a moment ago, and he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to totally gut his apartment. Oh, no, he wasn't.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh,
but that
no,
was
he
not
wasn't.
the reason why I filed for eviction against him.
That's
It was
the
not.
exact reason, because that's what the lawyer probably told you.
No, he did not
There has
tell
to
me
be a
that.
reason for you. Miss D'Alessandro, I want to tell you something. You think you're smarter than I am?
I do
you
not,
are
ma'am.
not. You are not. And I've been a judge for a very long time, and things usually happen in a rhythm. And let me explain the rhythm to you that is factual. Fact is, he lived there since 1997. Fact is, between 1997 and 2003, neither you nor your mother before you had occasion to file any kind of charges against Mr. Broussard or his girlfriend. Fact. The same month, according to you, that the title passed to you in the house, you decided to get your ducks in the water and remodel the unit behind the house. And according to you, he came and got in your face on that day, and you decided you had to do something to get him out because he was going to, according to you, quote, a moment ago, he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to gut the apartment. That's what you just told me. Those are the objective facts. And what you would have me believe is that all of a sudden this man who had been a reasonable tenant for 7 years became a psychopath.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
And later today,
I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck.
And when the cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage.
He was drunk.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Derek Broussard says former landlord Maria D'Alessandro had him falsely arrested for violating a restraining order. Derek also says after he moved out, Maria slandered him to potential landlords.
On October 1st, he gave you a check stated September 30th.
Yes.
I have a receipt for it.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
file a notice to quit because he had not paid rent?
No, I was advised to file the 3-day as well as the 60-day based on the fact that Mr. Broussard was habitually late in paying his rent over a period of time.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is that you filed a notice for him to vacate the premises, not because he was late in October, because he wasn't late in October, because he paid you the rent on time.
Right.
But because it started to bother you that before that he hadn't paid his rent.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me, and it didn't bother my mother.
So what did you file a complaint for?
I filed the complaint because I felt unsafe with Mr. Broussard being there after he verbally attacked me.
Then what I'm saying to you is, you're not following me, madam. What I said was, he didn't bother anybody before, didn't bother your mother before, didn't bother you before. When he started to bother you was in October when you decided to make renovations on the apartment. Those are the objective facts.
I did not make the decision in October, ma'am. I had started the work on the unit earlier in that summer, approximately June or July.
On his unit?
No, because they were still in it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
But that is not the reason why I filed eviction against him at all.
I don't believe
My
you.
mother, I have evidence in here that shows that prior to 2003, Mr. Broussard had a record, a pattern of actually tendering checks that came back NSF.
You just told me, madam, you got to keep your story straight. I'm speaking and you're not listening. You just told me that the reason you gave him the notice to quit was not because of rent. You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
The rent was not the issue.
Okay, now the rent was not the issue. Is that, I'm speaking, the rent was not the issue. Can I see your notice to leave? Do you have it?
It's in there. And here's the...
Just a minute. Shh. Well, you certainly say here that the reason you gave him the notice, madam, was because of rent.
What document is that you're looking at?
Take a look.
I will say, in my defense...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Pay attention to me. What's the reason you give in the notice for him to leave?
See, the attorney's office filed this on October the 15th. They made an error, and I have a note in here that verifies that.
Give it to me.
The note?
No,
or
give me the papers
the
back.
detainer.
Give me the papers back.
The attorney's office acknowledged that they filed the unlawful detainer in error.
When did you file your application for a protective order?
October the 24th.
So, October 15th, they acknowledged they made a mistake, and they withdrew that.
No, not on October the 15th.
Well,
they did not acknowledge that they made the mistake. I did not know that the unlawful detainer had been filed until the morning of October the 21st, and I have a copy of that paper in here.
Oh, okay.
Now, on October the 21st, when I called the attorney's office to say, what are you doing? I called you on October the 2nd to tell you that they had paid their rent in full and to remove the 3-day and maintain
so
the 60-day.
you told them that on the 21st of October.
That was the only time I knew that the unlawful detainer had been filed.
Listen to me carefully. So now we get to this objective data. The objective fact is that on the 21st, because you knew that you couldn't get them out because they had in fact paid their rent, right?
That's not...
3 days later, you filed a protection order against them. Now let me see the allegations on which you based the protective order. Let me see it.
Restraining order. Is that what you're asking?
I want to see the underlying allegations where she filed for a protective order. Underlying allegations. Can I see it, please? Description of the conduct. October 2nd, defendant observed plaintiff banging loudly on her back door. Garbage left in the area surrounding plaintiff's residence, and the defendant observed burning rubber in the driveway. October 3rd, he called you a name. October 17th, broken beer bottles left in front of her garage. So all of these things happened, and you filed this 3 days after you told the lawyer you better withdraw that because he paid his rent.
That's because I was hoping he was just going to leave me alone.
Madam, you are full of baloney.
No, ma'am, I am not.
I believe that the reason you got him out and the reason you filed for a violation is because there was no other way to get him out. He had been a tenant. He had been a tenant for 7 years. You wanted to renovate those 3 apartments, and the only way to get him out was to have him arrested, which is what you did. Judgment for the plaintiff, and the amount requested, $5,000.
That's not the reason why. Congratulations, you got your money.
Judge Judy.
Good, you got you some money now.
I was trying to get over it, but something inside of me told me don't let her get away with this.
It's breaking beer bottles. Okay, so what? I cleaned it up.
38 years, been a law-abiding citizen, and for her just to say, take him away, like I'm a piece of meat.
It's a lot more pleasant place to live now.
She's had ex-boyfriends vandalize her property, so she felt like she could blame it all on me.
He can move on. I've moved on.
Oh, man, I'm so happy. I love Judge Judy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ward versus Ortega, step forward, please.
Office manager Kelly Ward is suing fellow concertgoer, 19-year-old student Filiberto Ortega for falling on top of her during a show. Kelly says a drunken Filiberto gave her whiplash.
Miss Ward, you went to a concert, a musical concert?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Ortega was also a guest at that concert, paying custom. Don't get smart with me, sir. Is your claim that Mr. Ortega got drunk? While he was drunk, he fell on top of you and injured you.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for your medical bills and for your pain and suffering.
Yes.
And Mr. Ortega said that that's what happens when you go to a concert. He doesn't think that you were injured. He was drinking that night, but he doesn't think that he was so drunk that his falling on top of you, which he hardly remembers, was as a result of his being intoxicated. Is that right, sir?
I'll admit I was wrong for drinking that night, and I learned my lesson, definitely learned my lesson.
Well, let's start with Miss Ward. What concert was it?
It was a Dave Matthews concert on October 5th.
And tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I can tell you what I remember. My witness can kind of finish it up for me. Her and I were sitting in our seats at the time. She was on the end. I was sitting right next to her. All of a sudden, all I knew, I felt something in the back of my head. I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck. And from there, it was kind of a blur.
Then you can pick it up from there. Tell me your name.
Lori.
Lori what?
Langdock.
What did you see?
At first I felt something hit the side of my arm, and I thought maybe she's trying to get my attention. So I turned and looked at her and saw her slump forward in her seat, and I saw the defendant's legs on top of her head and her neck, and his body was to the seat, in the seat to her left. And I had to kind of pick his legs up off of her and he kind of fell farther over. Then she sat up just a little bit, and I just kept asking her if she was okay, and then he pushed a little bit past her and he kept falling back on the both of us, so I had to kind of help hold him up until he got right in the stairwell there, or in the stairs, and then I let go of him and went back to her.
You have any medical bills?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
Sure.
Okay, I'll hear you.
Where do I start? I really don't know where to start.
Start when you arrived at the concert, sir.
Right at the concert,
Who brought you?
we actually walked to the concert from a friend's house of mine.
Had you been drinking before you got to the concert?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you drinking?
Vodka.
Tell me what happened to Miss Ward.
I fell over like a couple rows of people, and I was unaware that I heard her that bad. Cops rolled up, and that's the day the music died for me. So.
What do you mean the day the music died for you? What does that mean?
It's a reference to a song.
What happened to you, Mr. Ortega?
What happened to me? I fell. It's simple
And when
as
the
that.
cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage. I got in trouble for resisting arrest, and that's all pending right now, so I don't know if I can really talk about it, but...
No, you shouldn't, because you behaved badly.
May I say something,
Sure.
Your Honor? When we came back, he was actually passed out in his seat at that time.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
I couldn't control myself, and I apologize if I hurt you.
Well, I'm glad you said that, sir, so that I don't have to scream and yell at you and make you appear foolish, which, believe me, if there's anybody who knows how to do that, I am a pro.
Can I also mention one other thing? At this time, I'm unable to lift my 3-year-old daughter. I'm unable to lift a basket of clothes, my 5-pound cat. So
all as a result of being stupid.
And I don't know how long this is going to last. You know, I have a 6-month record for chiropractic, but it could go past that.
Did you see this chiropractor before this
No,
incident?
I've never seen a chiropractor before.
Judgment for the plaintiff, as requested. I've calculated your expenses, and they will amount to almost $4,000 by the time you're finished. Your request is for $5,000. It's more than reasonable. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Brown, the defendant is your son.
Right.
Is that right? Are those prescription glasses, sir?
Yes, ma'am, very much so.
Well, would you take them off, please? Because if you have to read anything, I'll let you put them back on. Very good.
They're not for reading, they're for seeing you, Your Honor.
Well, put them back on again for a second, sir. Take a good look. Now take them off. Mrs. Brown, your lawsuit seeks return of money for several things. The first thing is bail money that you claim that you loaned to your son at some point. The second thing is for mortgage payments on a house that you are currently living in. And from what I gather from your complaint, there was some sort of an arrangement that your son would make the mortgage payments on this house, and ultimately the house would belong to him. You would live in the house, take care of your grandson, your son, correct? And then there was some sort of an altercation with your son, you put him out of the house, and you believe that he should continue to make the mortgage payments on the house as per your agreement.
No.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
I am only asking for a mortgage, well, it's not just mortgage, it's household expenses for the month of August, which he lived in my house. That was August of 2001 was the last month that he lived in my house, and he did not pay anything.
Okay, so it's just for 1 month?
It's just for 1 month, and it's $1,500 for the household expenses because that was our agreement.
How much was the mortgage payment?
$758.
Okay. How much was the bail?
The bail was $1,000.
And you have proof of that?
Yes. I have a bank statement here where I took the money out of the bank.
No, I need the bail statement, not where you took the money out.
I could not find it. I looked and looked, and I could not find the bail statement. I don't know if he has it or what.
All right. And the second thing that you want is for verbal abuse, which you don't get paid for, because you're suing him for $4,000. Way over. Okay, and the mortgage payment is $758. Okay, let's get to the bail first. Tell me the circumstances surrounding this bail.
The bail was, he was driving a car that was illegally licensed, and he got pulled over, and they took him to jail. And I can't remember if he had some other...
When was this?
This was in June of 2001.
Does that sound familiar, sir?
It sounds familiar in January, yes.
January of
Yeah.
2001?
No, it wasn't January. It was in the spring. The weather was beautiful.
Oh. Were you taken to jail, sir?
Yep.
Did you have bail?
Yep.
Where'd you get it from?
I have retrieved bail from Michael, a friend of mine. My mom has put up collateral for her house more than once, but just collateral.
No, I paid $1,000 and the collateral for that particular bail. The one he's talking about was for another charge that he was charged with, and his friend Michael did pay that bail for him because I had no more money to pay any more bail.
Why do you think your mother would lie about posting bail for you?
That's going to be the whole case. She's used her collateral more than once. I've asked her
More
to
than
use...
once for your bail?
Yep.
Well,
Yes,
how many
ma'am.
times have you been arrested, sir?
A few.
How many is a few?
A number?
Do you not? Are you telling me you don't remember?
Well, Your Honor, I've absolutely been in trouble. I haven't recently, but yes, I've been in a deal of trouble and asked her for collateral at least 4 times.
Okay, well, this time she says in June of 2001, she also had to post the bail. So if you can't remember how many times you've been arrested, maybe you don't remember who posted the bail all the time.
I remember exactly who posted the bail, Your Honor.
Well, who posted the bail in June?
Michael.
She said that that was in January.
No, he
There
said
was no
that
arrest in June. I was only arrested in January. I went to the court
I
dates.
could
I
be
know what
wrong
the
with
date
the
is.
month. It was in the spring. Those two cases were very close together.
Okay.
And
Tell me, Mrs. Brown, did you get a call from your son from jail?
Yes.
Well, tell me about the phone call. Maybe that will
He
jog
just
his
called
memory.
and said that he had been arrested and he needed to get bailed out, and could I get the money? And I said, yes. The money that I used was money that was supposed to stay in the bank. That's why I am asking for the money back, because the money was for something else.
What was it for?
It was for, we were going to do some work on the house.
Let me look at your statement. You say that you took out $1,000 so that you would have exactly when you took out the $1,000.
Well, this is showing up on my June, so that's why I said June.
Well, it would tell you the date in June.
6/4, $1,000.
Now, tell me exactly where you took this $1,000. Look at me.
I bailed him from a bondsman in Tacoma. I could not find that bondsman. I looked in the phone book and I made calls and I could not remember the name of that bondsman. I bailed him out. He went to court. And then, of course, you don't get that $1,000 back because that was the 10%.
Let's get to the house payment in August. Did you, in fact, live in the house in August, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Beginning of August until when?
Till, actually, I think it was after, it was more like the 1st or 2nd of September, I think.
And your arrangement with your mother was that you would take care of the household expenses.
The agreement of me buying the home was me buying the home, yes, and everything involved with it.
Did you pay for August?
The money for paying for the August rent was supposed to be paid on that Friday. Something had come up, I didn't get to it. That Friday night is the night that she came home and did her rampage and called the cops and kicked us out. That night, Friday night, assuming that I'd already paid, which I had not gotten a chance to pay yet.
But
So
it's due the beginning of August, not the end.
it gets paid, Your Honor. It gets paid every single month.
So your mother is correct that you did not make the $1,500 payment that you were supposed to make.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Is there any defense to that $1,500, Mr. Brown?
Yeah, she threw me and my son out in the street in the middle of the night.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You must have had some lollapalooza of a fight with your mother.
There was no fight.
You mean your mother went through a psychotic episode?
She does not like my son's mother.
That's not what happened at all.
And later today,
I don't remember. It was such a long time ago.
It's not so long ago in the scheme of things.
You know, I had the emails when I had gotten the order of protection, and
let's get to the money.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandy Brown says her son Henry Brown owes for 1 month of household expenses. Henry says his mom threw him out on the street in the middle of the night.
Go ahead.
I came to give her the money for that mortgage the next week after she had told me I couldn't come around, told me I couldn't have my stuff, told me my son couldn't have his stuff, and I'd come to have a couple cars towed at her request, at which time the police were called by her.
Well, you must have had some lollapalooza of a fight with your mother.
There was no fight. I was at home with my son, with my son's mother, with her daughter, and with my 13-year-old nanny when she came home at 10 o'clock at night and kicked and booted me out.
You mean your mother went through a psychotic episode?
She does not like my son's mother. That's been her issue for about a month before this happened. That was her only issue. We had had a fight about her before she left, I think it was on a Wednesday, and she came home Friday evening, and her first words were, she has to leave, she has to go, she has to leave. And I told her, no, it's 10 o'clock at night, and she got on the phone, called the cops, and told the cops I had been abusive and everything else. I'm standing there with cooking utensils, cooking food.
Why did you put your son out, Mrs. Brown?
That's not what happened at all.
Well, what
we
happened?
had been having an argument that whole week.
About what?
I did want him to move out because I didn't appreciate him yelling at me, getting in my face yelling at me. I did not appreciate him saying derogatory remarks about me. This is my home. I've lived here for 28 years, and I didn't feel like I had to put up with it. They had taken it upon themselves to move my furniture around. I did not yell at him. I said, Hank, I said, I don't want callers spending the night here. That's what I told him. And he just started yelling at me. And I said, okay, you need to move out. And he says, I'm not moving. I said, either you move, I'm going to go, or I'm going to call the police. He said, go ahead. So I said, fine. So I did. He had a warrant. He left so he wouldn't get arrested. 2 weeks later.
What did he have a warrant for?
I believe it's non-payment of child support. He has an older daughter. Then on that Monday, which was like the 3rd of September, I went straight to court and filed for protection order.
Okay.
He came to pick up his cars. I called the police, gave the police a protection order. They served him, and he went to jail on that same arrest warrant 2 weeks later.
Not on anything that had to do with you?
No. Didn't have anything to do with me.
Okay. Did he ultimately get his personal property and his son's personal property from the house?
Well, yes, he did. And by the way, when we went to finalize the protection order, I told him then, I need your stuff out of my house in 2 weeks because I need to have a roommate move in with me because I can't afford this house by myself. He never came. Ultimately, I put his son's bedroom set on the deck. I told my son, tell him to come and get Hanky's bedroom set before it is ruined, because by then it was like the end of October. He never came.
Where was he living?
Around.
With his son?
With his son. He's still living around with his son.
Okay. Well, I don't have a counterclaim for that. And in any event, I find that you did, in fact, post his bail, $1,000, and he owes you $1,500, almost acknowledged for August of 2001. So I'm entering a judgment for $2,500. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This woman, out of spite, has put me and my son out of our home that we had a good faith agreement on.
The agreement was if I died, he could inherit the house.
Don't trust nobody.
I guess he thought I was going to die in 2 or 3 years. I don't know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Poulter versus Miller. Step forward, please.
53-year-old truck driver Craig Poulter is suing his ex-girlfriend, 28-year-old purchasing agent Heidi Miller, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Heidi says Craig bought the car as a gift.
Mr. Poulter, you claim a loan to the defendant in the amount of $3,000 some odd dollars so that you could purchase a car.
Yes.
The defendant says it was never a loan, never intended to be a loan. What was your relationship to the defendant?
Well, Heidi and I had met in about June of 2000, and shortly thereafter started dating and ended up in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And during the course of that relationship, which lasted about 1.5 years, Heidi had mentioned that the vehicle she was driving at the time was being too costly for her to afford. We discussed the situation and came up with an idea that at the right time, when the right car came along, to purchase a different vehicle, and then she would be able to get rid of the one that she really couldn't afford owning.
Was it a leased car that you had?
Yes.
It's a lease?
Yes.
And how much was the lease?
$369 a month.
So does that sound right so far?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, go ahead.
So it was the 25th of June, 2001. And we spotted a nice-looking used car for sale by private owner. We decided to stop and take a look at this vehicle, knowing that she would sooner than later be getting rid of the Blazer. When we came back from the test ride, I told her that if we can make the right deal with the gentleman for the right amount of money, I think it would be a good car for her to have.
Okay.
And at that time, I said, as far as paying me back for the car, we can work that out later. Let's first take care of what's important is to get you a car.
Are you telling me that you had a discussion with her at that point about paying you back the money?
There was some short discussion about it. It wasn't a real long conversation. Like
it might sound right. It sounds right to me that you might say, listen, if we can make a good deal on this car, let's do it. But it doesn't sit right with me that you would say at that moment, and then we'll talk about paying me back, you know, later. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
But there was some mention of that getting a payment plan set up down the road or something, but I don't remember exactly
At that
what it
moment. I'm talking about at that moment.
Yes.
All right. I'm not sure if I believe that. Go ahead. So what happened? So you went and you made a deal with the man?
Yes.
You did alone?
Yes.
Okay.
And I wrote a personal check for the car, and
Okay.
I have a copy and
I'd like to see it.
of that signed cash check.
Okay.
Um,
And then she took possession of the car. You registered it in your name?
Yes.
And when did you turn back the leased car?
It was shortly after that because I had to, I took a loss on this Blazer that I had, and so what I had to do is I had to finance $5,000 for the loss on a Blazer that I no longer have, and actually I'm still paying for it. So once I sold that, which was actually probably about a month or two after he had bought the car for me.
Okay.
So
Now, when did you and the defendant end your relationship?
it was towards the end of 2001.
Between June, when you purchased the car, and December, did she make any payments to you?
No.
Did you have any discussions about it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, I have two separate emails from 2 separate days where I had mentioned to her by email about wanting repayment, and
I'd like
her
to see it.
replies are on my emails. Your Honor, my comments are highlighted in blue and hers are in yellow.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Craig Poulter says ex-girlfriend Heidi Miller owes for a loan to buy a car. Heidi says Craig has been harassing her.
Would you show this to the defendant, please?
Okay.
Ms. Miller, those emails, especially yours, don't seem consistent with your defense, which is that this car was a gift.
the reason, if I said those things, I don't remember. It was such a long time ago.
It's not so long ago in the scheme of things.
But I said this basically said those emails to appease this man. He's very controlling of me. I had to get a restraining order against him after all this whole thing. It was just to get him to back off.
Just a second. These were in September. You didn't break up with him until later on in the year.
Actually, we broke up in September. It was such an on and off relationship.
Well, then it was back on again.
No, it was not.
Well, you want to go on and continue then and tell me about these emails that you sent, which seem to indicate that he was telling you, don't worry about getting a part-time job to start to pay me back. Because you said, I'll get a part-time job and pay you back. He said the most important thing is that you get a good full-time job,
Which I
and then you
have.
can start paying me back. And you say, I'm really stubborn, I know I want to pay you back, and I'm going to pay you back. Now, you say that on 2 separate occasions.
Just to appease him, because he was harassing me with phone calls and with different emails that I don't keep every single email that is sent to me. I'm sorry that I don't. But if I could, you know, I had the emails when I had gotten the order of protection, and
let's get to the money.
I don't owe him for it. It was a gift. At the time of when we purchased the car, we never talked about anything about that I was going to repay him or anything.
Your Honor.
He went and took for a test drive. I had nothing to do with the car.
Okay.
He came back to me and said, this is a good car for you.
Okay.
Your Honor, I also have an audio tape recording that I made of a conversation between Ms. Miller and I. We have queued up one of the most important parts of the tape.
I'll hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah? What are we going to do, Heidi? I don't know. I can't believe in all this time you haven't been able to send any money at all. Exactly, me either. Things are tight. Okay, plain and simple, Heidi. What is the next step? I don't know.
I asked her point blank on the conversation, and it's in this tape. I said, Heidi, are you trying to say that you don't owe me the money for the car? And she very frankly answers, no, I know I owe you.
No, it's clear to me, sir,
Okay.
that she owes you for the car.
It was just miscued.
It's clear to me that she owes you for the
Thank
car.
you.
She acknowledges on the tape she owes you for the
And
car.
I
She
also
acknowledges
have-
in the email she owes you for the car.
Right, and I have my
Only
daughter
today
as a
she
witness.
says she doesn't owe you for the car.
That's
Only today. Now, if you had $369 of car payments for a Blazer that you couldn't afford, and if you gave him $100 a month, which would cut your expenses substantially, then you could pay the car off in 30 months and you wouldn't have a problem. Or if you gave him $50 a month, but you gave him nothing,
Well, I had to pay for that blazer loan, that $5,000 loss.
Whose fault is that? Is that his fault?
Yes, because he told me that was the best thing for me to do, was to get rid of that blazer.
Hey, listen.
That's what he told me to do.
You look like a very strong, strapping girl, and there is absolutely no reason why you let somebody else make decisions for you. Sounds to me as if you made your own decision to lease a blazer. You could have leased a car that you could buy or lease for $150
Yeah, this is case number 456 on the calendar in the matter of Wells versus Howells. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Wells, according to what I've read, sir, you and the defendant had a glorious 11-year relationship. Sometimes on, sometimes off. Now it's off. It's over. But about 2 years ago, when it was over, it is your claim that Miss Howells, while you were incarcerated on some kind of domestic dispute, she stole all of your personal property. So that's the first part of your lawsuit, that you want your personal property from 2 years ago.
Yes.
Then, more recently, in 2002, you got back together again. And you claim that you proposed marriage, and you gave her a ring. And then a month or so later, the relationship ended for good, so you want the ring back.
Yes.
Miss Howells says that she deserves the ring. She doesn't even address the stuff, but she says she deserves the ring after 11 years of being with you. And she's counterclaiming because she says in November, which is the date of the final breakup, that you assaulted her, and she wants to be compensated for her pain and suffering, whatever medical bill she has. So I'm not going to get into what you say Miss Howells took 2 years ago, and I'm going to tell you why, sir. Have you been incarcerated for the last 2 years?
No.
Then would you like to tell me why you did not pursue this matter for 2 years?
Well, Your Honor.
I know who I am, so just tell me why.
The reason why is because we have been together and on and off so many times that I've lost count, and these things that I want are things that I bought with my own money. I've paid Ms. Howells numerous amounts of cash and dining and trips to Mexico, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and I've been slapped in the face, and I'd like to have my things back.
Well, you should have been more vigilant, Mr. Wells. Courts are set up to deal with divorces. They're not set up to deal with almost marrieds, almost togethers, 11-year relationships that don't pan out. You had 2 years in which to act, you didn't. But I'm going to get to the ring for a second. Where's the ring, Miss Howells?
The ring I returned to Costco in Medford, Oregon, and gave them a picture of the attack of my right arm, and they returned the money to me.
How much money did they return?
$1,099.
That's what you owe him. $1,099. Is that what you paid for the ring, Mr. Wells?
Yes.
An engagement ring is given in anticipation of getting married. You didn't get married, you don't keep the ring or the value thereof because you returned the ring. You don't keep the cash because you feel as if you deserve it. You don't. If you're foolish enough to live with somebody who abuses you and who makes your life miserable, that's your problem. You don't get to keep the ring. So you get $1,099, sir, on your complaint.
Okay.
Now we're going to get to your counterclaim. I want you to tell me what happened in November when you claimed that Mr. Wells assaulted you.
Okay, Mr. Wells and I, being he was having some behavior problems, I was going to drive us to a Christian marriage counseling. It was a 2-day seminar. We tried to find the place where it was going to take place and could not find it. So we decided to just go to dinner and, and forget about it. So we went to dinner, had a couple drinks, and then on the way home, we stopped at this nightclub. It's a steakhouse nightclub. He started verbally accusing me things of looking at some guy in the bar and things like that, starting a fight. And I was having a good time. And anyway, so we get to my home, and, it escalated. So we get out of the car, go in the house, and he all of a sudden just turned into a totally different person and told me that, called me some names, and then he told me he was going to kick that TV in, the big screen TV, and he was going to slap me in my face, and he was going to walk out the door and get a taxi and go home. Well, he didn't have any money. So he grabbed my phone and proceeded out the door with it. I said, "Give me my phone back." Anyway, he slammed it down on the cement. I said, "Scott, calm down." He came back inside my home, and he just was out of control. I said, "I will give you the money to take a taxi, if that's your big, thing." I go, "Why can't you just get along with me and we can just, work this out? Why do you have to be like this?" And anyway, he grabbed my purse at one time, ran to the door, and then I ran after him and got my purse away because I had some money in it. We kind of backed up. I kind of backed to my kitchen counter, and something in my heart told me I just better make it to the door and scream because of the way he was carrying on and going out of his mind. And anyway, so I ran to the door, got the door open. I opened the door with my right hand, and I got to scream out for help, and he immediately grabbed my right arm, it's really hard, and he covered up my mouth, dragged me to my office. It's a second bedroom I use for my office. He dragged me in there and told me the police are going to come, and how much he loved me, and he just carried on, please, tell him I left, because actually when he grabbed me on my arm and grabbed me around my face, I thought he was going to kill me.
Okay, so he grabbed you by the arm, put his hand across your mouth and said, please don't scream because the police are going to come. Tell him I'm not here.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so then the police came, and anyway, he hid in my closet, and they pulled him out of the closet, but he had put something in one of my shoes.
What did he put in one of your shoes?
I have the police report, Your Honor.
What did he put in your shoe?
Meth, drugs.
Drugs. So who was arrested?
He was arrested.
What about
I
you?
didn't press charges.
What about you?
No, I went in and did a urinalysis in my bathroom. They gave me the cup, and I'm clean. What
about him?
No, they took him to jail.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm not a drug user.
So this was an isolated instance?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, right.
And later today.
Your Honor, she knew I was going in the hallway.
That doesn't mean anything if she knew you were going in the hallway, Miss Davis.
Yes, Your Honor. This is how it was.
No, it wasn't. Stop making it up as you're going along.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charles Scott Wells says ex-fiancée Linda Howells owes for the return of property and an engagement ring. Linda says he bought the ring at Costco and she returned it.
All right, Mr. Wells, let's hear your version of the events of the 3rd of November, 2002.
Well, I call this the abuse of the legal system, and here's why. Ms. Howells had made a statement to her neighbor, if I'm murdered, then it's my boyfriend who did it. Well, that was early in the afternoon. Ms. Howells picks me up that evening, takes me out to dinner, takes me back to her house, goes outside, screams, help, I get arrested. That's the short version of it. I mean, that's just one incident. And I've got proof right here.
I'd like to see it.
Also, Ms. Howells is sue crazy. She's got 7 lawsuits going. Here's one that's just recent, a whiplash case.
Shh, I'm not interested in a whiplash case. Let me see proof, sir.
This, from here on the second page, kind of states what happened.
Why were you hiding in the closet?
The reason I was hiding in the closet is because of an incident that happened 2 years ago that was similar to this, where she had called the police, had me arrested, said that I had threatened her. I went to jail, and that's when I lost my belongings out of my house.
So is that why you were hiding? What about the drugs?
The drugs, I don't do drugs now as isolated incidents.
Just a second. What were the drugs doing in her shoe?
I had put them there.
Why?
Because when Miss Howells opened the door for the police, she said, he's hiding in the closet.
Well, what were you doing walking around with the drugs?
I was on my way.
Methamphetamine. What were you doing walking around with?
It was a foolish mistake, Your Honor. I mean, it was something I am very embarrassed about.
What did you plan to do with it, sir?
Pardon?
I mean, were you going to frame it?
I was going to snort it.
Had you snorted any of it before?
In the past?
Yes.
No, I'm not a drug user.
So this was an isolated instance?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, right. Were you given a urine test when you got to the precinct?
Yes.
Is it negative or positive?
I'm not sure what the results were.
Really? All right. Let me see your injuries, please.
Okay. And here's a copy of the police report, what happened. And then there's that on my arm. And then the incident of, it was actually a year prior, November 23rd, 2001.
I'm not interested in what happened the year before. I'm not interested in his property that happened the year before. I'm not interested.
Okay.
Oh, this is a bad bruise.
Very bad. And I had a 5-hour shoulder surgery in 1997 on my shoulder.
Oh, please. I'm not interested in the year of the flood, madam.
And Your Honor,
Well,
there was no...
No, Your Honor, it caused me paralysis, his grabbing me. I
Okay,
have no
right
damage.
now you look just fine, but he gave you a nasty bruise.
There was no report of that when the incident happened with the police. This is all
Because I didn't press
fabricated.
charges. I tried to protect you.
You admitted to the police, sir, that you last snorted the meth earlier that evening.
Yes, I did. Your Honor, I went down the wrong path there. And
Fine, well then what you did,
know.
sir, you went down the wrong path, and what happened is...
But the drugs have not...
No, listen to me. You went down the wrong path, sir, and what happened when you go down the wrong path and you snort drugs earlier in the evening, your behavior changes.
Mm-hmm.
Even your memory of events change. Because what you told me happened was that she set you up that night.
She did.
That she came to take you to dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and she drove you home to her house, and then she ran outside and screamed for the police so that she could have you arrested. If that's really what you think, I feel sorry for you. If that's what you want me to believe, I feel sorry for me. Because it's not what happened, sir.
Well, Your Honor,
What happened is you got into an argument with her. You were behaving irrationally. You were a little bit sweaty. I don't know what your circumstance is as we stand here today, and I'm certainly not going to ask you, but I will tell you that night you were acting a little bit irrationally. She went outside and screamed for somebody to call the police, and you got busted, and you got busted for either a disturbance at her home and or the drug possession. You probably pled guilty to the drug possession. Is that a fair statement?
Well, Miss Howells was arrested for marijuana that evening.
Did
and
you?
She was partying with me.
Did you plead guilty to the drug possession?
Yes, I did.
So that's over.
Yeah.
So that part is...
I haven't tried
That part is over with. As part of what happened in the course of that evening, sir, you bruised her very badly. Because
No.
you didn't want to get... Oh, yeah, you did.
That picture could be from anything. If she was injured, wouldn't she have told the police that night when I was arrested?
A black and blue mark like that doesn't come out 2 seconds later. It comes out, that's what happened. You grabbed her inside. You mean you didn't punch her? She didn't say, he punched me, he kicked me in the back, he threatened to stab me. He said you grabbed her by the arm, which you did, in order to take her inside to shut her up. You were acting irrationally. I don't think that she was seriously injured that night. I don't believe that. But I believe she was injured sufficiently enough to cost you $1,099, which is the cost of the engagement ring. So your claim is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I feel like this is a defeat for men that have women abusing the legal system to get material things from men.
He makes up stories, and he actually believes them.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Davis versus Wallace. Step forward, please.
26-year-old homemaker Shoshana Davis and her son, 7-year-old Raleek Wilkes, are suing her aunt, airport security screener Yvette Wallace, for causing her son's finger to be severed.
Miss Davis, Miss Wallace is your aunt, is that right?
Yes.
And this is your son?
Yes.
He's 7?
Yes.
And what's your first name?
Raleek.
Raleek.
Yes.
Miss Wallace, this is your daughter?
Yes.
You like him? Yes. Is that right? You play together occasionally? According to your complaint, Miss Davis, you were at your aunt's house, socializing,
Yes.
sitting in the kitchen, having a cup of coffee,
Yes.
and the kids were playing.
Yes.
And at some point, this young lady went into the bathroom.
Yes.
According to you, she slammed Raleek's finger in the door, causing the tip of his finger to come off.
Yes.
And then you took him to the hospital, and they had to find the tip of the finger, and you say Miss Wallace didn't get the tip of the finger there fast enough. To make a long story short, Raleek is missing a little piece of his finger. And you want your aunt to pay for all of his medical bills and for pain and suffering. You want her to pay you $5,000, right?
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
You're sitting with your aunt in the kitchen, having a cup of coffee. What happens? Was he in the kitchen with you and followed her into the bathroom?
No, he wasn't. They was playing in Christina's bedroom.
Right.
Christina runs into the bathroom after hitting Raleek. And
She hit him?
Yes.
Where did she hit him?
On my leg.
You mean she hit you because she was angry with you?
No.
Was she playing around? Huh?
Yes.
Sure she was. And then she went into the bathroom. What did you do, Raleek?
I ran after her.
Right. And she slammed the door?
Yes.
And you got your finger caught in the door?
Yes.
So? That's what happened.
Yes. And I'm suing because it's his left hand. He cannot participate in certain activities in school because it's his left hand.
Should have watched him more carefully, Miss Davis. You're his mother. Why didn't you watch him?
I was not in the apartment.
I thought you said you were in the apartment.
Miss Wallace, he was in Miss Wallace's care as I was in the hallway. Now,
Just a second. What do you mean he was? Shh, just a second.
Your Honor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you just told me you were socializing with your aunt.
We was engaging in conversation.
Who was?
Me and the other tenants that live inside the projects. There was an incident in the building, and I was standing in the hallway. I was not in the apartment at the present time.
Just a second. You didn't leave him in her care. Just because she stayed in the apartment and minded her own business, you went outside to mind somebody else's business. If you were so concerned about your son's welfare, you should have stayed in the apartment.
You're right, Your
Why
Honor.
do you blame somebody
But
else?
no, I'm not blaming her at that matter. I'm blaming her because we do conjugate like that.
Fine. Well, then why are you blaming her and suing her for this incident that occurred that had no fault on her part?
Okay.
None at all. Her daughter was playing with your son. He ran after her in the bathroom.
Yes.
She slammed the door.
Yes.
And he got his finger caught in the door because he put his finger in the door. Why should she pay you $5,000?
Why? Because while we was there, no one ever, Christina never apologized. Plus, because of his, this is permanent defective.
But
He
that
has to
doesn't
have
mean that
surgery.
just because he's got a permanent injury doesn't mean that your aunt is liable for that injury.
Why not? If it was done in her house in...
You brought your child there.
Yes.
You are responsible to supervise your child, not her. You.
Yes.
If you had brought your child there and said to her, will you supervise and take care of Ralik while I go to the store?
But Your Honor...
I'm speaking.
Okay.
And she said, I will take care of him. Then you might have a case against her for inadequate supervision.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're there. You're his mother. He's hurt.
Yes.
He's hurt while in your care. Just because you walked outside to be a yenta in the hallway
No, Your
doesn't
Honor.
mean because you left her in the apartment that she's responsible. No, Miss Davis. You're still responsible.
Your Honor, she knew I was going in the hallway.
That doesn't mean anything if she knew you were going in the hallway, Miss Davis. Doesn't mean anything. She has to assume the responsibility and say to you, I will take care of your son while you go out.
Yes, Your Honor. This is how it was.
No, it wasn't. Stop making it up as you're going along.
Never.
Never.
will do
Your
that.
case is dismissed, Miss Davis. I want you to get a life. Be responsible. It's your son. You take care of him. Not somebody else. It's not her fault.
But, Your Honor, you didn't even look at his finger.
It doesn't make any difference what happened to his finger, madam. He's your child. You are responsible for supervising him and taking care of him. And don't make it somebody else's fault. It was your fault that you didn't watch him more carefully. If you did, he wouldn't have had his finger chopped off. It's not her fault. She went into the bathroom. They were playing. She slammed the door.
Is Riley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats. Young man.
Mr. Ehrman.
Yes, ma'am.
I've read your complaint very carefully, sir, and what I gather happened was that you came across Miss Riley's cat
That's correct.
that was somehow out on the street. You thought the cat was your cat. You have a cat that looks similar. You picked it up. You realized it was not your cat. You were holding on to the cat while your wife went to find out who the owner was, and the cat scratched and or bit you,
Correct.
which eventually caused a serious infection in your arm, substantial medical bills, and you believe that Miss Riley should be responsible for all of your medical bills, your pain and suffering, and your lost income during this period of time. Miss Riley says you should not have picked up her cat. That's pretty much your defense. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. When did this happen, Mr. Ehrman?
Around April 9th of 2003, about 10 or 10:30 in the evening.
Where were you, sir?
I was in front of my apartment.
Where is your apartment?
I'm up on the hill, and Miss Riley's apartment's like down on the hill.
In what city?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mission Viejo, California.
So you're on top of the hill, she's at the bottom of the hill?
Yes.
Where was the cat?
The cat was probably about 100 to 120 feet away from my apartment.
What did the cat look like? You have a picture?
The cat looked almost identical to the picture that I have of my cat.
Can I see?
And that's one of the reasons why I approached that cat, thinking that it was my cat.
Who were you with, sir?
I was with my wife.
So you picked up the cat.
Yes.
It was 10:30 night, so it was dark. But once you picked up the cat, did you realize that the cat was not yours?
After I picked it up and had it in my arms, I noticed that the tag was slightly different than mine.
So the cat had a tag?
Yes.
What did the tag say?
It was a round tag, and it had Erin Riley's name on it, along with her phone number.
And what happened next, sir?
Once I discovered it was not my cat, I advised the wife to go ahead and contact Miss Riley, because it was late at night, and our community that we live in is infested with coyotes. And I was concerned for the safety of this cat because of all the coyotes.
So did your wife contact her?
Yes, my wife went upstairs and contacted her.
Step up. So far, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What happened when you called Miss Riley, Mrs. Ehrman?
I informed Miss Riley that we spotted her cat, which looked similar to our cat. You know, do you want to come and obtain your cat? She said, okay, I'm on my way up. I informed my husband, she's on her way up. But our complex...
So you came outside after you spoke to her?
Correct.
And you went over to your husband. Your husband was still holding the cat?
Yes, he was.
And you said she's on her way?
I informed him he's on her way, and I was walking down the hill to escort her up.
When you called and said, we have your cat, did she say anything else to you?
Not much of anything, like, okay, where are you and where's my cat?
Okay. And now when you went down, you found her and you brought her back up?
Correct.
What happened when you brought her back up?
We approached my husband, who now at this point had the cat on the ground. He showed to her what the cat had did as far as scratches goes and a bite on his finger and thumb. She informed us, oh my God, I cannot believe my cat did this. You know, my cat normally does not do stuff like this. So we explained to her, well, we'll clean it up. We wrapped the cat up in a towel and went to the car and drove her cat back down to her apartment.
So far, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So there's no question that her cat bit and scratched you.
Correct.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
After the bite occurred, I immediately poured out iodine, peroxide, alcohol, and all types of salves and wrapped up the wound. I kept monitoring it for the next 2 weeks, and it appeared to be healing on the outside. About 2 weeks later, my hand started getting swollen, and at that moment in time, I totally forgot about the cat bite. I was just trying to figure, okay, what's going on with my hand? And it got really, really sore. And the wife, pretty much ordered me to go to the emergency room, and which I did. And at that moment in time, they thought it was torn ligaments. They sent me over to a hand specialist. He saw signs of something else. He started poking around, and there was no pain in certain areas. And he started jogging my memory and saying what happened. And it just stumbled me again, the cat bite. As soon as I said a cat bite happened, immediately he ordered me for an emergency MRI. He came in and saw the results and said, you're not going home. You're going to the emergency room now. And I go, what do you mean? And he explained to me that the infection went from the thumb, came down the palm, wrapped around my wrist, and was shooting up my arm. He said if I did not get immediate medical attention, I would have been dead in less than 2 weeks. So, of course, I contacted my wife, who escorted me to the hospital, and I was admitted for my first of 4 surgeries.
First of 4 surgeries?
First of 4, yes. And I have pictures of the actual stitches. They are double-sided.
Everything okay now?
I am going through physical therapy, yes, right now, and the progress is improving slowly, but it is getting better, yes.
Now, Mr. Ehrman, did you contact an attorney at any time?
Yes, I did, ma'am, and unfortunately, all the attorneys I contacted, when I stated that I lived in an apartment residence as well with Ms. Riley, they felt that unfortunately there was no assets to go after so that I can receive full compensation for what is due to me.
What do you do for a living, Ms. Riley?
I'm a programs coordinator for a non-profit organization.
You have homeowners insurance?
No, I live in an apartment.
And Your Honor, when we move into the apartment community, they give us this big, thick packet. And one of the papers in here is regarding pets.
Can I see
and on this, I highlighted
you live
for
in the
you.
same community?
Mm-hmm. We live in
And on it, it does state that the residents agree to be responsible for any and all damages caused by that pet while on that property.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What is the purpose of an identification tag, Miss Riley?
To call me and have me come pick the cat up.
If what?
If the cat gets out.
Well, that's what he did.
And later today,
you evidently told the state that Miss Eccles was your child care provider. Now, if you think that the state is going to make you a gift, you are absolutely mistaken.
Well, how come
we are not going to make you a gift for committing fraud.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Ehrman says neighbor Erin Riley owes for medical bills due to a cat bite. Erin says David should have never picked up her cat.
Miss Riley, I've read your answer. I would like you to explain to me why you believe that you are in no way responsible for Mr. Ehrman's injury.
I don't think that he should have picked up the cat in the first place. I realize that my cat does look a lot like his cat, but my cat was hissing and very upset. I feel like he should have put it down. I feel like it wasn't his responsibility to save it from coyotes.
Okay. Does your cat have claws?
Yes.
So is your cat an indoor cat or an outdoor cat?
Indoor cat.
What was your cat doing out on the 9th of April?
It escaped at around 9:30. I actually went to go look for it for about an hour.
Escaped how?
It got out my patio door when I was cleaning.
Has that ever happened to you before?
No.
You mean your cat has never gotten out before?
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Is your cat registered with the county
No.
where you live?
No. It has its shots, and I have a shot record.
But the tag that the cat wears is not a registration tag, is that correct?
No, it's an identification.
What is the purpose of an identification tag, Miss Riley?
To call me and have me come pick the cat up.
If what?
If the cat gets out.
Right. You put the tag on the cat to encourage people, if they find your animal, to pick up the phone and call you in order to return your cat, correct?
Correct.
Well, that's what he did. He did no more than accept your invitation. If he picked up the cat and saw it wasn't his and just put it down, he wouldn't have gotten hurt. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
He was holding your cat, doing exactly what you wanted him to do, which was to call him. It was your invitation. Didn't you ever think of that?
I wasn't expecting my cat to get out.
Well, if you weren't expecting your cat to get out, then why did you put the collar on your cat with the tag and your telephone number on it?
Because my daughter put that tag on my cat. I don't know. I mean, in the case that it did
how old
get
is your
out.
daughter?
She's 9.
Madam, your daughter did not put the tag on the cat. Whose name is on the tag? Yours or your daughter's?
It's the cat's name.
What's the cat's name?
Cherry.
Does it have a last name?
No.
What name was on the tag?
Aaron. I said Aaron Riley and her phone number.
Oh, well, we replaced the tag. I'm sorry, I forgot. This was a while ago.
Whose name is Aaron Riley?
My name.
So your daughter did not put your name and telephone number on. You put your name and telephone number on the tag and attached it to the cat. Right?
Yes.
Your Honor, make
What?
a statement. As far as her statement that she made earlier saying that the cat only got out once, unfortunately that is false.
Of course it's
brought
false.
witnesses with me as well that have seen the cat on the premises multiple times, especially near my apartment as well.
Is that you?
Both of them.
Tell me your name.
Shannon Ehrman. And yes, on multiple occasions I have seen the cat right directly in front of our complex.
How do you know it was her cat and not his?
Because I seen the cat the
She
night
lives with
that it
us.
happened, prior to the incident that happened with him, that I saw the cat.
How many times prior to the evening of April 9th had you seen that cat?
Never.
So you never saw it before?
Never before.
After that night?
At least 2 more times after that.
After he was injured?
Correct.
Miss Riley, I want you to take a look at these and tell me if this is the agreement that you signed ultimately when you
Yeah.
moved into your apartment.
Of course. Yes.
Well, then you agreed to be responsible, right? You saw his injuries, I assume.
No, I haven't.
Well, just show her the scars as a result of the injury. These are the photographs that were taken while they were stitched. You still have the cat, Miss Riley?
Yes, I do.
Miss Riley, your cat is responsible for the injury that Mr. Ehrman suffered. There isn't a question in my mind about that.
Okay.
I don't think that there's a question in your mind about it
No.
either. I think that the only issue is, do you bear responsibility? I think that by A, allowing your cat to escape, and having signed the agreement with your landlord that you would be responsible for any and all damage, you are in fact responsible. But more so, you encouraged people like Mr. Ehrman to act when you placed a tag on your cat that gave your name and your telephone number and said, please help me. If you find my cat that's gotten out, he did exactly what you told him to do. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt that I was getting nowhere and I had to pursue legal action for what little I could get to pay the enormous amount of medical bills.
I'm responsible, but once the cat scratched him, he should have dropped it. That's what I think.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Eccles versus Fowler. Step forward, please.
Student Colette Eccles is suing her cousin, 23-year-old student Christy Fowler, for unpaid babysitting fees. Christy says Colette did a poor job.
Miss Eccles, you provided daycare for Miss Fowler's children.
Yes.
How old were her children?
4 and 6.
And when did you provide daycare for her children?
December of 2001 to February 2002.
And it was your agreement with Miss Fowler that when she got a state check for child care, that she would pay you, correct?
Yes.
And she never did?
No.
Is that right?
Correct.
Now, Miss Fowler tells me the following story in her answer. Bert, are we paying careful attention here? I want you to listen to this story.
I am with you.
Miss Fowler says that you did not do a good job when you took care of her children. But despite that, when she got her state check, it was just before she was ready to go to jail. So she cashed the check and she gave the money to a friend to give to you. I read that right, didn't I?
No, ma'am.
I didn't read that right? Let's see what you say here. You said...
He was my cousin, Your Honor.
Oh, you mean it wasn't a friend, it was cousin?
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, I was right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Colette Eccles says her cousin, Christy Fowler, owes for unpaid babysitting fees. Christy says Colette is scamming the state.
How much did you give your cousin to give to her?
Like $2,000.
And does your cousin have a name?
Fabian.
And what does Mr. do for a living?
He works somewhere now, but then he didn't have no job then.
So at the time that you gave him this $2,000 in cash, he was unemployed?
That's correct.
Now, what prompted you to give the money to Fabian?
Okay, Your Honor, I had just got the check like a day before I was sentenced.
For what?
For why? For possession of a controlled substance and assault, Your Honor. And he lived with me at this time, and they sent me the check with a letter of verification that said I'm supposed to pay her how much I feel that I should pay her.
And the rest was a gift to you?
Excuse me? There was no gift.
Well, if you say that they sent you a check and that the letter said you should pay Miss Eccles what you thought she deserved,
that's right.
Then the rest the state was sending you as a gift. How much was the whole check for?
For $2,208.
Okay. So you thought that she deserved $2,000, leaving you $208.
That's all I spent.
Just a second. Let's say you thought she deserved $1,000. So you would have given her $1,000, and the other $1,208 would have been a gift to you from the state for being a good mother.
Yes, Your Honor. If that's
Yes,
how you
okay.
want to
I
put
just
it.
wanted to make sure where we were going. So the $208 was a gift to you from Officer Byrd, because he's a citizen who pays taxes. Miss Fowler, I don't believe you.
Okay.
Let us start with, I don't believe you. I don't believe that the day before you went to jail, you said to Fabian, an unemployed cousin who lived with you in a house where there were drugs going on and everything else, you gave him $2,000 and said to him, I want you to go find Miss Eccles and give her the money that I owe her for not taking good care of my children. I don't believe you.
But she know it's true. Just ask her. She know I gave him the money.
I'm going to ask her
she
right
know
now.
it's true.
Did Fabian give you $2,000?
No, he did not.
He gave her $800.
No, he did not.
Just a minute. If he gave her $800, what happened to the other $1,200?
I don't know what he did with it. I was gone. I was already incarcerated, Your Honor.
Just a minute. You were already gone. So what makes you think he gave her $800?
Because everybody told me. Everybody say so. The whole family. She been knowing my whole family for 17 years. I got my stub right here. I got a statement right here from another man, my stepdad that was living with me. He took her to my house and gave her the $800. She went and searched my house and found $800. And that was the money. Half of the money.
Miss Fowler, why did you just tell me before and swear in your answer that you gave her $2,000 when you didn't give her $2,000? You only gave her, according to you, she only took $800.
Listen, I gave Fabian $2,000.
What does that have to do with her?
He knew what he was supposed to do with the money. I left my business, I left my house, I left him my car, I left him my children, I left him everything to handle my business while I go and do my time, Your Honor. If he didn't give it to her, what am I supposed to do? I can't do nothing from jail. But I guess he spent half the money.
You know that
and he
actually
gave her
sounds logical to her? Right. Miss Fowler, let us say you bought a television set for $2,000 at Sears Roebuck. And before you went to jail, you say to Fabian, here is the $2,000 that I owe to Sears Roebuck. And Fabian doesn't pay Sears. And Sears comes when you get out of jail and you say, well, what are you doing here? And they say, well, I'm coming to get my TV because you didn't pay for it. And you say, well, you can't do that. Fabian had the money. I gave the money to Fabian. You see how stupid that sounds?
Okay,
how far do you think you would get with them?
No, that's a legitimate business.
Just a
this
second.
is not a legitimate business.
Yes.
She asked me.
No. Miss Eccles, you evidently told the state in the form of a written voucher that Miss Eccles was your child care provider for your 2 children. Now, if you lied to the state when you told them that, but if you think that the state is going to make you a gift, you are absolutely mistaken.
Well, how come they...
We are not going to make you a gift for committing fraud. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all. Step out.
Hickman Williamson versus Jennings. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Thanks, Bird.
Quite welcome.
You 2 folks are boyfriend and girlfriend, is that right?
Yes.
Yes. And you had a fight. Police were called. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
When was that?
It was March the 3rd.
Is this the first time you were arrested for domestic violence?
No, Your Honor.
How many times had you been arrested for domestic violence?
3.
Same gal?
No.
3 different gals?
No, 2, Your Honor.
How many times with this young lady?
1.
He doesn't have a good track record. In any event, you were being held in jail, and you decided that you didn't want him in jail. Is that right?
That's right, Your Honor.
So you wanted to post bail. So you got some money together. How much was the bail?
$1,500 in cash.
But you didn't want to go down and post the bail yourself.
No, Your Honor, I was not able to since I was involved in the case.
So that you gave the $1,500 to the defendant to post the bail.
That's right.
Correct?
Correct.
And you went and posted the bail, and of course you understood that when and if the bail was returned, that it went back to the plaintiffs.
Correct.
The bail was ultimately returned, and it was returned to you by way of a check.
Right.
Sent to your home.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want your money.
Yes.
So, Mr. Jennings, when did the check come to your house?
I never saw the check, Your Honor.
I have the check where it was mailed out.
Let me see.
Give him the one that I signed to.
Well, this is $1,289.
Yes, that was after fines and court costs, Your Honor.
When did you call Mr. Jennings to ask him about the money?
I called him every day after the court hearing, every day, sometimes twice a day.
And what did he say the very next day?
He said he had not received the check yet.
Did you call him the next day?
Yes.
I asked him every day, too, Your Honor, because he was my friend, and I used to hang around him. So I asked him every day, and he denied receiving the check.
Did he ever say to you somebody had stolen his ID, which is his defense?
Yes.
When was your ID stolen, Mr. Jennings?
About the 15th or something like that.
All right. So let me ask you some specifics. So you got a call from the plaintiffs the very next day. So you were on alert that this check was going to be coming.
Right.
Do you work?
No, not right now.
Were you working then?
No.
So you were home?
Not always.
You were home enough to get your mail?
Right.
Every day?
Yes.
Who else lives with you?
A friend of mine.
Who?
This guy named Tommy.
Tommy what? Did you ask Mr. whether he had seen the check?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said he hadn't seen it.
Now tell me where your mailbox is.
The mail comes into my door. It's a slot in the door. They slide the mail through.
And only the 2 of you were there?
There's people in and out my apartment all the time.
People invited by whom?
Me.
So you find out who stole the check. They're not going to be out the money. Sir, if what you're suggesting is that somebody came and stole that check, forged your name to the check, which they would have had to have done, is that right?
Right.
Take it to a bank where they had an account, or to this bank.
I have his signature, Your Honor.
Can
where
I
he
see it, please?
Passed the check.
Can I see it?
And I
Statement from the BP.
also have a written statement from the manager at the BP gas station where he cashed the check. It was cashed at a gas station, not a bank.
I'm looking at your answer, Mr. Jennings, where you signed your name. I'm looking at this check, so whoever signed your name not only signed your name, but also was a pretty good forger. So it had to be somebody who knew your signature really well.
If someone stole my ID, enough practice, they can forge your name right.
Well, enough practice. Let's see when this was done.
I have a written statement from the manager at the BP that
Let me
said
see it, please.
that it was him.
Let me see. Well, the only problem with this letter, which indicates that John Jennings came into the store and, in fact, cashed this check, is that I don't know whether this man knows John Jennings.
I can tell you how he knows him, though. I mean, just in my words, that John Jennings used to work at a place called Kitchen, and the BP is right next to it, and he used to go there to get his checks from the kitchen cashed. And that's how the guy knew him. And he has no bank account, so therefore he couldn't go to a bank. He had to go to the BP to get the check cashed.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I've been on the bench for a very, very long time and have had the ability to compare signatures with somebody who'd been signing the name for a very long time. How old are you?
22.
Like 22 years.
And later today,
We walked in the door, and I still can't talk about this. The cat was lying there half dead.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angie Williamson says when boyfriend Drayton Hickman was arrested for domestic violence, she gave former friend John Jennings money for his bail. Angie and Drayton claim John stole the refund check.
Mr. Jennings, I'm not prepared at this moment in time to say that you are a thief. I may think it, but I'm not prepared to say it. Whether you are a thief or not, you have the ability to find out who actually, if it wasn't you, which I doubt, stole your ID, cashed this check, because you live with one other person and you know, according to you, who else comes in and out of your house.
Right.
So you go find them, sir.
Well,
Yes.
well, when she called me from the courthouse saying that the check had been cashed with my ID, had called to the courthouse and was trying to find this out. And I was on my way down there, and I seen a mutual friend, and this friend told me that they said that I robbed them, and I was doing them a favor by going to bail him out of jail, and for them to accuse me of robbing him, I don't think that I should have to figure out who done
You
it.
probably did rob them, sir.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
You probably did. Mr. Jennings, I am not a handwriting expert. However, I've been on the bench for a very, very long time and have had the ability to compare signatures, to take expert testimony in the field of forensics, and I look at those signatures, and they're the same. You signed twice, once before the check was cashed, and then they said to you, no, we want to see you sign it again right here, so that you're not going to take a lot of time to sign your name. And the same signature, Mr. Jennings. And all this happened in a relatively short period of time, so that whoever signed that check didn't have a couple of months to sit around and try to figure out who signed, you know, how to sign the name very, very quickly. It was somebody who'd been signing the name for a very long time. How old are you?
22.
Like 22 years. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,289.75. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I totally trusted him, too, with my money, or I wouldn't have given it to him in the first place.
I just think it's some BS.
I never thought he would do that to me because we've known each other for so long.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kula versus Schumacher. Step forward, please.
Sales rep Jeannie Kula is suing her neighbor, graphic designer Richard Schumacher, for the cost of her cat's vet bills.
Miss Kula, you were going on vacation, and you have cats, and you enlisted the defendant's assistance in taking care of your cats while you were away. I don't quite understand the arrangement that you made with him, but you will explain it to me, I'm sure. Your complaint alleges that because of his either negligence or purposeful actions, he locked one of the cats in a closet. And as a result of that, the cat had to be treated by a veterinarian. Your bill was $1,400 change, and you want him to pay for that vet bill. How do you know the defendant?
The defendant was a friend of a friend, and he was introduced to me, and I was told that he needed a place to stay. He was between living arrangements, and we were planning our vacation. So normally we had someone come in twice a day to feed my 2 cats, but my one cat had a thyroid condition and she was very thin and very frail, and we were just worried about her. We thought, wouldn't it be nice to have someone there and look after her a little bit? So Richard came over a couple times and things seemed to go well.
You mean before you went on vacation?
Right, right.
And did you discuss with him staying at your house?
Yes, he was very excited about staying there because we have a very great beach apartment. But he assured me that he grew up with cats and he liked cats, he would take care of cats, and he promised to look after my tabby, who was in tentative condition. And
okay. Now, other than the fact that he was to stay in your home, and that was clear, he was going to be sleeping there.
Right.
While you were away. And how long was this vacation?
6 nights.
Was there any financial arrangement? Was he going to be paid in addition to having the use of your apartment?
No, normally the going rate for cat sitting is under $30 a day, and a furnished beach apartment like ours goes for at least $130 or $150 a night.
But you didn't discuss that with him?
No.
You just said, you can come and stay and watch my cats.
Exactly. And he assured me everything was fine. I gave him my cell phone number, I gave him my neighbor's number, I gave him the vet's number, and everything seemed fine. I called him every day for the first few days while I was gone.
And he was there?
And he was there. He said everything was fine, no problems. I called the day before we came home, and I left a message on his voicemail. He didn't answer, and I said, would you please call me if there are any problems? He did not call me back. So we came home late the next day, and we walked in the door, and I still can't talk about this. The cat was lying there half dead. She was lying there. She was all wet, and she couldn't eat or drink anymore. She was just lying there, and she was covered with, she smelled like urine, and she smelled like feces, and she smelled like chemicals, and she was all wet with water. So immediately I called him, and I said, what happened to the cat? And he said, I don't know. I was just there just a few hours ago. I came in, and she was fine. Well, she didn't give herself a bath, so I know he's not telling me everything. So while I was on the phone with him, Tom opened this small utility closet that was in the bathroom, and there was this detergent bottle that had broken. Apparently she was struggling to get out, and we don't know how long she was there. There was a lot of urine, a lot of liquid feces, and it was spread all over the door and all over the wall because she was struggling to get out. He said he found her Monday morning when he was getting ready for work, so we know she'd been there for some time.
Who found her Monday morning?
Richard did.
Okay.
Your Honor,
wait a second. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
What day did you come back?
We came back Tuesday late.
Tuesday.
Right.
So he told you that he found the cat that way on Monday.
Right. We took her to the vet. She required 24-hour-a-day medical attention to save her life. She almost died. I had to transport her with her IV bag from 3 different facilities. I have
Can I
copies
see the report
of
from the
medical
vet?
records, and I have
Can I see, please?
Your Honor, may I say one more thing?
No, say nothing. I got it. You presented your evidence, right?
I just wanted to tell you what happened after that. It was another month. We had to put antibiotic lotion all over her paws, her legs, her chest, and we had to put salve on her, and then all of the skin and the fur from these parts of her body fell off.
I read it in the report.
And she had to wear a cone, and it was just...
Okay, now I'll hear from you, sir.
This is a very simple case, Your Honor. I was already living at the beach. I was not between residences. I lived actually in a nicer place than her condominium, which her balcony overlooks the chart house's roof and air conditioning system. So, I mean, it's not...
Get on with it, sir.
I did her a favor to feed her cats and take care of her
your
cats.
arrangement was to stay there.
Yes.
Your arrangement was to stay in her home.
Yes.
Okay, so this wasn't going in and feeding her cats. You were going to be living in her home.
Well, I was supposed to stay at her house, feed her cats in the morning and the evening, water her cats, make sure they didn't get outside.
But you were staying there, sir.
Yes.
That was the arrangement.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what happened.
I stayed there. I fed the cats as I was instructed. It was a very complex feeding schedule, 3 different kinds of food, exact amounts of water, specific bowls, very kind of neurotic method of feeding cats. but I work every day. I left approximately 7:30.
So tell me what happened on Monday.
The cats I fed in the morning. Both showed up. Monday evening when I showed up, they were both around. I put the bowls out. One cat, the healthy, older, darker cat, came and ate the food. The other cat, I called, it didn't show up. I looked around for the cat, couldn't find it. I figured if the cat gets hungry, he'll come and eat the food. So the next morning, after taking a shower, I heard a banging in the closet in the guest bathroom downstairs. I opened the door and the cat jumped out. I looked immediately at the white tile floor. There were no tracks. There was no bleeding. There was no, I checked the cat out. The cat walked 15, 20 feet into the living room, laid down underneath the dining room table in the sun, and went to sleep. As far as I could tell, I'm not a pet doctor, or I don't have cat ESP, but it looked fine to me. It was laying in the sun sleeping.
Mr. Schumacher, you indicated to me earlier in your testimony that you had your own apartment at the beach, and it was a nicer apartment than the apartment that Mrs. Kula had.
Yes.
Is that right? How far away from her apartment was the apartment that you were renting?
Half a mile.
Now, for the week that you were at Mrs. Kula's, did you go home and check your mail?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
Who do you live with? Who were you living with
At
there?
the time, I was staying with a friend of mine.
So this wasn't your apartment, this was a friend's apartment.
Right.
So you were staying with a friend.
Yes, while I was looking for an apartment.
Okay. And so either day or evening you would go back there after work to check your mail.
Yeah, I also
assume
work there. It's a home office, and we have a business out of there, and it's,
Ms. Kula, when someone assumes the responsibility as business to take care of your pets, they are, of course, responsible. Responsible if anything happens to your pet other than, a natural illness or force of nature. Mr. Schumacher was, in fact, almost in a barter relationship with you. He had the use of an apartment alone, without a friend, for a period of 6 days. And therefore, his level of responsibility, in my judgment, is the same as if he had a job. I don't believe him that he was there on Sunday night and Monday night and fed the cats on Monday night and checked them out on Tuesday morning.
I fed the cats every morning and night, Your Honor.
I do not believe, sir, that the picture described by Mrs. Kula and that the veterinary report as provided by her supports your story that the cat was left in that room for maybe an hour or two, and certainly there was no evidence when you looked inside the room that the cat had been in any distress. Mr. Schumacher, this is your responsibility. If you do not wish to take on the responsibility of taking care of living things, then don't do it. If you do, you have the responsibility to do it well.
I took very good care of
You
the cat.
did not. That cat required 4 weeks' worth of IV antibiotics, came in, had lost at least 1 pound of body weight, according to the vet who treats this cat regularly, and that didn't happen over a period of 2 hours.
No, it didn't. It happened over a period of the age of the cat. The cat was in dying shape when I accepted the position.
Then you shouldn't have accepted the position, Mr. Schumacher.
I guess not.
That's right. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Valley versus Valley.
Thank you, Bert.
Quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Having a senior moment there, darling?
Having a senior moment.
Get used to it. Mr. Valley, the defendant is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And co-defendant is your daughter-in-law.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, sir, your son was arrested sometime this
August.
year. Last year.
Last year.
And you made an arrangement with your daughter-in-law for a loan for his bail.
Yes.
Well, your daughter-in-law says it has nothing to do with her. Your son says he never made an arrangement with you to pay you back. As far as he was concerned, this was a gift because you're his father. Is that right, sir?
Yes. How can you sue your own sperm?
I didn't ask you for any other information other than either a yes or a no. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Don't play cute with me. Mr. Valley, how many times has your son been arrested? Only once, is that right?
Once or twice.
Once or twice. Who called you or contacted you to post his bail?
My wife and Cindy came over, told me
Is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, please.
Then my son tried to hang himself.
Just a minute. Your wife and Cindy, that's
Yes,
your
Your
daughter-in-law,
Honor.
came to your house?
Yes.
Do you live with your wife?
No, ma'am.
Did you come to Mr. Valley's home and have a discussion with him about his son being in jail?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
When was that?
August.
8/16.
And did you come with your daughter-in-law?
Well, she wasn't my daughter-in-law then, but we did go together because we didn't have enough money on our own.
How did it come to pass that you came to your husband's house and asked him for money?
Well, me and my husband had always had an arrangement. If anything was to happen to the kids, we'd always get in touch with one another. Now, this was a real bad predicament of where my son was in jail, and I went to my husband 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
With Cynthia?
Yes. And I spoke with my husband, and I says to him, you know, come on, we got to help him. We always helped every one of our kids, all the time. And he gave us $1,000.
Just a minute. Were you present when Cindy had a discussion with him about paying back this money?
Yes.
Tell me about the discussion.
She said that after the trial was over or whatever, that she would pay him back whatever she could. And, you know, we were expecting the money back.
She told him that?
Yes.
Now, at that time, your husband gave you, you said $1,000.
Right.
How much was the bail?
$4,600. I provided $1,500, and then my husband called me, I'd say about 6 o'clock, and he left a message on my voicemail, and he said that he had $500 more to give us. So he said, come down and get it. I went and got it, and then we put all the money together. Nobody else put up any money except me and my husband and Cindy.
Cindy put up some money, too?
Yes, she did.
And you put up $1,500?
I put up 15 of my own, yes.
Did you ever get that back?
No.
How come?
Well, for the first thing, my son was living in my home for a whole year. Never had him pay rent, never had him buy food until the last 2 months. Last 2 months, I became unemployed. I had thyroid surgery, so they would pay me $25 a week, and my son was merrily taking it off the bill. I says, why is he doing that? This is something that I needed for my home, you know, for my own salvation.
This was before he got arrested?
No, this is after he
After he got arrested?
Yeah.
Okay. I got it now. So he was paying you off, in his mind, with a bail by deducting some money.
Right. But he never gave anything to my husband.
Okay. Now, when did you get married?
February 22nd.
Well, Mr. Valley, you don't owe your father anything.
Thank you.
She does. Because in order to create a loan, you have to have an agreement with the person, Mr. Valley.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you called your son and said, do you want me to loan you this money? And he said yes, then you do it. But she said, I'll pay you back, right?
No.
Yes, you did. I was watching your face as they were speaking. Yes, you did. You said, I'll pay you back what I can.
No. I never even spoke to him. He gave the money to Paula Valley, and from Paula Valley went to the bail bond lady.
You were present with her in the house.
No, it wasn't at the house. She met him in the corner store, and I stood in the car.
And you were never there?
I was in the car.
You never spoke to him?
Never. That was the first
Miss
time I
Valley.
ever seen him.
No, you did speak with him, Cindy. You
Miss
even
Valley.
said to him. You even said
No,
to him,
tell me.
thank you.
I never
Tell me.
spoke to him.
Yes, you
Never.
did. Yes, you did.
Cindy, please.
Miss Valley, you don't have to, don't speak. There's no question in my mind that she said, I'll pay you back. Look at her face. I'm looking at her face. There's no question in mind. She may not have meant it. She may have meant he'll pay you back.
Well, that's what she said to him later, all right? In the end of March, he come over the house. And
Who did?
My husband. And he went face to face with her. Now, my son was in the back washing his car, and Cindy was in the front, and she was coming down the stairs. I said nothing. My husband said to her, he said, hey, when are you going to pay me back? I have to go see my sister. And she says, well, you'll have to take that up with my husband. Hello? They just got married, you know? I mean, give me a break.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
This young lady was babysitting for you? You like her?
Not anymore. I know she stole the money.
I can't trust her with cash in my house. How can I trust her with my kids?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Raphael Valley says his son and his daughter-in-law, Jose and Cynthia Valley, owe for a loan to bail Jose out of jail.
There isn't a question in my mind that Mrs. Valley, the junior Mrs. Valley, made an agreement with your husband to pay you back the bail, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That has nothing to do with your son. Of course, it's his moral responsibility, but he could not create a contract with you because he didn't speak to you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500 against the co-defendant. Thank you. That's all.
You're excused. You may step out.
Just get my money back. It's still my son.
Never take money from family.
You needed somebody money? Write it down first.
It's all about greed.
It's been hard.
And I hope he's happy now.
He didn't like it, but it had to be done.
I just don't understand how you could sue your own son. I mean, something that you made.
I hate to tell my son, but he's going to be sued again, this time by his mother for a little bit more.
They're crazy and they need mental health.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Alejo versus Just. Step forward, please.
Grocery store owner Kimberly Alejo is suing her former friend, housekeeper Katie Just, for stealing $300 from her home. Katie denies the charge.
Miss Alejo, the defendant was a babysitter of yours.
Yes.
And it is your claim that she took $300 in cash from your home.
Correct.
When was this?
February 28th.
Tell me about the cash. Where was it?
My husband put it under the VCR before he left, and he told me that it was
What
there.
time?
About 9 p.m.
And when did the defendant arrive?
She got there at about 7 o'clock that night.
She arrived at your house at 7 o'clock?
She was there before my husband left.
When did you notice that the money was missing?
About 10:30.
And you were home with her?
Mm-hmm.
Who else was in the house?
My children.
Did you ask her about the money?
No, I didn't, because she told me that she had put it up in the closet, and I thought that maybe it had fallen.
How did the issue of money come up at all?
I had just been operated on about 2 weeks ago, and they had to reopen my incision. And so I was on a lot of pain medicine, and that was the whole reason for her being there, was to help me with the kids, because I didn't think I could. And I thought that at about 10:30, I thought, I got to get up and put that money away. You know, put it in my billfold so I remember to take it with me in the morning. And when I got up, it wasn't there.
So at that point, you asked her about it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say? What did you say to her? What did she say to you?
I asked her if she'd seen the money, and she told me that she put it up under the towels in the closet. And then I proceeded to take everything down off the shelf where the towels and stuff were, and there wasn't anything there.
When you looked for it in the closet, was the defendant present?
Yes.
Did she say anything at that point?
She told me that maybe the kids must have got a hold of it. Again, my kids couldn't have reached the shelf in that closet.
What time did she leave?
About 3 o'clock in the morning.
Was that when she was supposed to leave?
No, she was supposed to stay the night.
Why did she leave at 3 o'clock in the morning?
She told me that she didn't feel comfortable spending the night at people's houses.
Was there any further discussion of the money?
She then called me the Saturday following, March 2nd, and told me that she would pay me the money back when she got her income taxes back.
Well, tell me about that conversation.
She just called me and told me that...
She called you and said what? Hello? What's your first name?
Katie.
Hello, this is Katie.
Uh-huh. And told me that the officer that had went down to question her about it after I reported it had made her feel really bad and uncomfortable, and she was just about ready to have a nervous breakdown about it, and that she would just pay me the money.
Did you have that conversation with her?
Yes, I did. It went somewhat like it.
Well, tell me about it.
I called her, and I told her I would pay her when I did get my income tax money, because I didn't want to get harassed by the police officers or anything anymore. And after a couple days, I thought about it. It's like I'm more or less telling her I did supposedly take this money.
That's what it was saying. I'll pay you the money when I get my income tax money back.
And I thought about it after I had the phone call with her, and I said, I'm not going to pay her back because that's making me look like I did take the money.
Well, tell me about what you saw when you saw this money. You did see the money.
Yeah, I didn't know how much there was there.
Where did you see it?
It was on the floor.
So you saw a bunch of money?
Yeah, I just wrapped it up and put it up on the shelf.
Wrapped it up in what?
Nothing, I just wrapped the bills up.
Wrapped them in what?
In each other. I didn't wrap them up into nothing. Like, you know how you fold money and put it like in your...
Well, fold it, yes, but that's not wrapping it up. You folded it, yes, and what did you do with it?
And I put it on the shelf.
In the bathroom?
In her bedroom.
And how high up is this shelf?
High enough where the two girls shouldn't have gotten it, but there was a chair in there, too.
Mm-hmm. Now, at some point you left early that evening, or in the wee hours of the morning. Why did you leave at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Because I tried to sleep and I couldn't, because I don't feel comfortable sleeping at other people's houses because it's not my bed, my house.
But you had agreed to stay with her the night?
Because she called me and nagged me for 25 minutes.
Okay, but you had agreed to stay with her the night?
Yes.
Miss Alejo, I read your papers, and in your papers you indicate that your daughter was a witness.
Yes.
This little girl, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a discussion with your daughter?
She brought it up to me later.
Your daughter?
Yes.
Your daughter is 6.
Uh-huh.
So you understand I can't take her sworn testimony, but I'd like to hear what she has to say. Have you done any preparation of her for today?
I've only told her that we were coming and that she was going to probably have to talk to you.
Okay, fine. Tell me her name.
Vanessa Ramirez.
Okay, Vanessa, could you come sit up here for me, please?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kimberly Alejo says former friend Katie Just stole $300 from her home. Kimberly claims her 6-year-old daughter Vanessa saw the whole thing.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
How old are you?
6.
Do you go to school? What grade are you in school?
Kindergarten at Sunset.
Have you been in school before this year? Or is this your first year?
No, it's my before year.
So you were there before. Could you sit still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So you think you're a real smart girl? Are you smart? Do you remember a day when this young lady was babysitting for you? How many times has she taken care of you?
Like about 3 times.
Has she been nice to you?
Yeah,
You like her?
not anymore.
But did you before? Did she play with you?
Cartoons on to watch.
What's your favorite cartoon?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. I have a son-in-law who loves SpongeBob. Okay. Do you remember a time when she was babysitting for you and there was some money?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember that?
But I know she stole the money.
But you didn't see her with any money.
I told my mother and my dad put it under the VCR. And
No, tell me what you saw. Don't tell me what you told your mom.
Okay.
Tell me what you saw with the money.
I saw that she put it in her pocket and she had the money, but my sister first had the money and then...
How did your sister get the money?
Under the VCR.
How old is your sister?
2.
So she reached up and took the money? And what happened to her when she reached up and took the money?
She got the whole thing and she was playing with it.
Where was she playing with it? On the floor?
Yes.
Were you playing with her?
Mm-mm. I was watching cartoons.
So what was she doing? Spreading the money all over the place?
Uh-uh.
How was she playing with it?
Like going like this, picking them up.
Okay. And then what happened?
I told my mom that Graciela had the money and then Katie came in and got the money and put it, like folded it and put it in her pocket.
You saw her fold it and put it in her pocket? Did you see where she went with it after that?
Yes.
Where did she go with it after that?
In the living room.
Did you see what she did with the money in the living room?
She wasn't doing nothing. She didn't even pull it out.
She just had it in her pocket?
Yes.
When your sister was playing with the money, was it all in one pile or was it in lots of piles?
It was folded and it wasn't in any piles.
Can you count?
To what?
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Were there more than 10 bills or less than 10 bills?
Less.
How many bills were there?
Like about $3.
$3? Thank you. There you go. What were the denominations of the bills that your husband left you?
There were 2 $100 bills and 2 $50 bills.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Then Kim went back to check I'd see if the money was there. And then it wasn't. We searched through her bedroom, the clothes that she had on her, my clothes that I had on me, my shoes, my pillows, and everything. We did not find it. I ended up going home at 3 o'clock that morning because I could not sleep there. I called her the next morning, came up, and helped her look for it again. And we still could not find it. So she ended up going to her store that she runs, and I ended up going home.
Did she come back to your house the next day?
Yes, she did. But she did not help me look for it.
What was the purpose of her coming back the next day?
To see if I needed her to babysit that day. And at that point, with her leaving at 3 o'clock in the morning, that money being gone, I thought, you know, if I can't trust her with cash in my house, how can I trust her with my kids?
Did you know that your 2-year-old had gotten her hands on that money?
After the fact, yes. Vanessa says that she told me that, but I was on some very strong pain medicine because they reopened my incision, and I don't remember her saying that to me.
Ms. Aleo, I'm sure that the police told you what I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a possibility that Miss Just took your money, but there is also a possibility that she did not. I mean, I can think of other scenarios that might have happened with that money if your kids are inquisitive and managed to get it from under the VCR. So It's possible that they could have gotten it from where she says she put it. And before I am prepared to label someone a thief, I have to have much more evidence, even in a civil proceeding, because I think that before you say somebody is stolen, you have to be really comfortable with that. So only Miss Just knows whether or not she was just or not and took your money. But I cannot award you the $300 that you're missing. Do you understand?
The only thing that I have to say about that is that the towels were still all folded, still in the same place where I'd left them. There's no way my kids got up there under the towels and pulled the money down.
I probably believe you. I mean, I believe you. I believe that there was money. I believe that it's missing. And I believe that there is a substantial possibility that you took it. But I'm not prepared to label her a thief. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So next time you tell your husband that if he wants to leave some money for you, to take it and put it in your wallet.
Okay.
Put your wallet in your pocketbook. You the husband? The pocketbook someplace secure, and then we don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah, I told him like, put in the pocket. She told me put in the VCR.
Is that what you told him?
I told him to put the money up for me.
Okay. Then it's not your fault. I was prepared to blame you, but it's not your fault. Got a new babysitter?
Yes, I do.
Good. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Your Honor, this is case number 400 on the calendar in the matter of Straub versus Snelson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Ms. Straub, how old are you?
I'm 20.
When were you 20?
April 5th.
According to your complaint, for your 19th birthday, the defendant, who was then your boyfriend, bought you a dog. You've since broken up. He came in, stole the dog. You want the dog back or the value of the dog? Mr. Snelson says that he never gave you this dog as a gift. The gift was bought for his son's 5th birthday, and he is counterclaiming for some property that you have that belongs to him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you living together?
Yes.
When did you start to live together?
We started living together when I was 18, but we had broken up right after he had given me the dog for my 19th birthday.
Just a minute. Did you move into his apartment? Did he move into your apartment? Or did you move in together into a new apartment?
I moved into his house, but I moved into my house, into my mother's house in Portland after we had broken up, after he...
Shh. Try paying attention to my questions. You moved into his house. Mm-hmm. Who lived in his house?
Several people.
Who?
A couple of roommates, his son, and I, and him.
How old is his son?
He was 4 then.
When is your birthday in April? April 5th?
Mm-hmm.
On what day was the dog purchased?
I am not sure. It was a couple days before my 19th birthday.
And tell me the circumstances of his giving you the dog.
He had gotten the dog from someone.
Look at me.
He brought it home and he said, "Happy birthday, here's your dog," and that was it.
What kind of a dog is it?
She's an American Pit Bull.
How old was the dog?
She'll be 2 in January.
How old was the dog when you got it?
She was about 3 months old.
And when did you break up?
We broke up right after my 19th birthday. I moved back to Portland, and I took Karma with me, and she lived with me in Portland at my mother's house, which I have proof.
Okay. For how long?
For approximately a year.
When did he come and get the dog? What date?
What date? I moved back to Bend after living.
What Bend?
I moved. We lived in Bend together.
What Bend? Is that Bend, Oregon?
Bend, Oregon, yes.
Okay.
And after I had broken up with him, after I had received the dog as a gift for my 19th birthday, I moved back to Portland, Oregon. And she lived
took the
with
dog
me.
with you?
Yes.
Okay.
And she lived with me. I have plenty of paperwork, receipts, original receipts from Portland, from Petco. I have Safeway, places, dates, times, amounts.
Okay, I'll take a look at them in a minute.
Okay. And she lived with me at my mother's house.
For a year?
For about a year, yes.
Was it 9 months? Was it 10 months?
It was almost a year, maybe a couple weeks.
Okay, and then you moved back to Bend.
Then I moved back to Bend.
Where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was all along.
And I am there now. And we had stayed...
Now look at me. You're looking down at your paperwork. Don't look down at your paperwork.
Okay.
You broke up, you took the dog, you went back to your mother's.
Okay.
You stayed with your mother, and then you moved back to Bend. When you moved back to Bend, where did you go?
To his grandmother's. And then
So you went back, you were back together again?
Yes. And then shortly...
You were back together again?
Yes.
What month and year did you move back to Bend?
End of April, beginning of May of this year.
And when did you break up for the last time?
September 3rd, when he had choked me, and I called the police and had him removed.
So from May to September, you lived together?
Yes.
And the police removed him?
They requested that he leave, yes. And I filed a restraining order the next morning. And the apartment is in my name solely.
So when you moved back to Bend, you leased an apartment and he moved in with you? I thought you were living with his grandmother.
We lived with his grandmother for approximately 2 months. And then I leased an apartment in my name on July 22nd of this year.
And that's where the two of you were living. July, August, up until September 3rd, you were living with the dog. Is that right?
Yes.
Where was his son?
His son was in Alaska with his mother.
Is that right, Mr. Sneelson? Look at me,
to my
sir.
knowledge.
No. To your knowledge, you would know if your son isn't around. You wake up in the morning, you go and look in his room. If he's not there, look at me.
Well, I'm trying to
look
think
at me.
It has
I
been
just asked
roughly about 8 months to a year.
that your
since
son
he's
has been
over there
living with his
mother.
mother.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, tell me how he got possession of the dog.
After I had filed the restraining order, I had dropped it because I want to remain friends with him still. I didn't want all this. But he had came into my house and started arguing with me and just walked in. He still had a key because I had yet to be able to get it from him. And he walked through my back French doors of my patio, came in, argued with me, and grabbed her, and then ran off with her.
Okay.
And he had called me
That's
after
a lie,
that.
Your Honor.
He had called me several times from a payphone and asked me if I had wanted to discuss this further, maybe repress the situation.
Do you have any of his property?
I have pots and pans and dishes that his aunt and his grandmother purchased for us for our house, and I would be more than willing to give those back to him.
Fine. Pots, pans, and dishes. What else? You have a ring that belonged to his
I
grandfather?
do not have a ring of his. I do not have any other possessions of his. He took everything, and he even took my DVD player upon leaving, and he had then later
Now,
given it back to me.
Good. The real issue here is the dog. Is that right?
Yeah, somewhat. I would really like my ring and everything
Pay careful
back.
attention to me, sir.
Okay, if I can get my
Pay
personal
careful
belongings
attention to
back,
me. You can't pay
I would
careful
love to.
attention to me if you're moving your mouth.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When my mouth starts to move, your mouth stops. And the only time that doesn't happen is when somebody is usually on speed or some sort of mind-altering drug, because otherwise people know that when they're in a courtroom, judge speaks, they don't.
And later today,
You want her to pay for a vasectomy that she insisted that you have because she didn't want any more children.
Yes, ma'am.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melanie Straub says ex-boyfriend Casey Snelson won't return her pit bull named Karma. Casey says he bought the dog as a birthday gift for his son.
When you had an argument over a year ago with Miss Straub, did she leave Bend, Oregon, and go and live with her mother for a period of time?
No, ma'am.
She did not. She never left. Is that
She
what
left,
you're telling me?
but no, ma'am, she did not go straight to her mother's.
I didn't ask you whether she went straight to her mother's. I asked whether she left and went to her mother's in Portland.
I went with her, though, is what I'm saying.
You stayed with her?
Yes.
did not live
She
with
came
her.
to live with me and my best friend in Vancouver, Washington for approximately a month and a half. Then she moved to her mother's, and it was only about 3 months that
When
we were
she
over.
moved to her mother's, Mr. Sneelson, was the dog with her?
No.
Yes.
Where was the dog?
It was with me and my roommate and my son and his 2 kids in the apartment with us.
Really?
Yes.
No.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
Yeah, I don't believe you. Show me the proof that the dog was with you in Portland. Show me the... Show me.
Here's everything. That's got it all. She's registered under Multnomah and Deschutes County. All of her rabies vaccinations are under me. Karma Straub.
I'm missing something, Bird. I'm really missing something. My eyes must be getting out. Would you point out the dog in these pictures? See a dog in those pictures?
Not in those, Your Honor.
Well, then what are you giving it to me for?
No, that was the house that I was living at with my mother.
Listen, I don't care about the house and your mother. I asked you, I'm
There's
not looking
pictures
through
in
all
there,
this
Your
garbage.
Honor.
Would you kindly look through this junk and show me proof of the dog living with you in Portland, Oregon?
This is her license under Multnomah County. Here are her pictures, along with all of her vaccinations and everything
Let
in
me just
Portland.
see. I don't want to see the pictures. I want to see the vet bill.
Okay.
Good.
I also
Mr. Seelson, Listen to me very carefully. Did you ever live with the plaintiff in Portland, Oregon?
Yes.
When?
Around June of 2001 until about August of 2001.
Where did you live?
We lived in Vancouver, Washington, at an apartment complex there.
Is English your primary language?
What's that?
Is English your primary language? I said to you, did you ever live in Portland, Oregon with the plaintiff?
No, not in Portland. But, I mean,
So the answer is no.
I mean, they're connected.
So the answer is no. You
Okay,
never
no.
lived with her in Portland, Oregon.
Your Honor,
Vancouver and Portland are connected.
I have receipts that I had kept from Portland also, as well
Just a
as...
sec. I mean, what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
What? You said Portland, Oregon. He's talking about Washington. I thought that was rather humorous.
Your Honor?
There's only
What?
a tiny bridge that divides them. That's why you
What?
commute from one side to the other. There's only a small bridge that divides Portland and
I want to tell you,
Vancouver.
let me ask you this question, sir. You think that if you paid your taxes to the state of Washington, the state of Oregon would say, that's really nice, we're going to... We don't care.
Well,
You
that's
paid
like
it
my
for
friend
Washington,
works
paid
in
to
Oregon,
Oregon.
he lives
We
in
don't care.
the
One
same
is the same thing. I asked you a question. I said, did you
Okay.
ever live with her in Portland, Oregon? The answer is what?
No.
Good.
Sorry.
I also have original...
I didn't ask you anything. In any event, your defense, sir, is that you bought this dog for your son. It was a gift for your son.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am, it
right?
was.
But your son doesn't live with you. Why didn't you give the dog to...
My son did live with me at the time.
He doesn't live with you now. He hasn't lived with you in a year.
No, but just because I bought the dog when my son
But
was
the
there,
kid
was
what?
the
What were you
dog
gonna
supposed
say?
to go to Alaska?
Why not? The dog
Because his
belongs to the
mother wasn't
child.
going to take the dog, and that's my responsibility to take care of that animal.
I don't believe you. I believe that you bought the dog for her and came home and said to her, whether you intended to buy it for her or not, I believe that you came home. Oh, by the way, can I see the bill of sale? I want to see when he bought the dog. Shh. Say nothing.
Okay.
May I say something?
Shh. Say nothing. Oh. This says that the dog was purchased in March for $250.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't even get that bill of sale until after I had called the police on him, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Stating
I believe you.
that he...
I believe you.
Show
me the registration for the dog.
Registration there, she's not...
She's registered under me under Multnomah.
Show me the registration.
I even have a tape, Your Honor, a cassette tape, that he left a message on my answering machine stating that he wanted to give me back my dog, but I don't want to play his rules.
Okay, let me, you have that
No,
tape?
I tried to be very civil between this case, and we tried
Quiet.
to work on
Sir,
a competitive level.
You see this receipt? This
Yes,
receipt is baloney.
That's mine.
It's baloney.
What?
It's baloney.
I have an Avid chip put in my animal, too.
Can you
that registers
please,
her to
can
me.
you please
If
play that
she's
tape for
taken,
me?
it comes back to me. It's all registered into my name.
I believe it's
At any
loud
time.
enough.
Go ahead. I can't hear it.
I didn't want to see you because I did want to stay.
How can you have a videotape when your thing has no video? I mean, has no... That was when we were in a fight. I was just letting her see her, Your Honor.
You said what,
That was
sir?
when we were in an argument, and I was just, this was during a time where we were commuting back and forth. She was meeting me behind my grandmother's house so she could see Karma and stuff. Then we tried to hook back up. We hooked back up and stuff after this tape and
No, we did
everything.
not.
We had been together after this.
No,
Yes,
we
did,
did
Your
not.
Honor.
So what? You said I'll give you back Karma.
For the night. That's for the night.
You're full of
Your Honor.
baloney.
That's not for...
Mr.
No,
Sneelson,
no, no, no,
Mr.
no,
Sneelson,
no. That's
Mr.
bull-
Sneelson, two things. Two things. First of all, lying is something...
I know.
you know,
And this is all lies. That's why I can't
yeah,
understand
lying is
this.
something
This
that is
just
objectionable to
absolutely
me.
ridiculous.
You take drugs.
No, Your Honor.
What I want you to do is, when my mouth starts to move, your mouth stops. Do you understand?
I know.
And the only time that that doesn't happen is when somebody is usually on speed or some sort of mind-altering drug, because otherwise people know that when they're in a courtroom, judge speaks, they don't. Do you understand that? So I believe that this is her dog. I also believe that she is not going to be able to get this dog from you. Do you understand? Now, you're suing him for the dog or the value of the dog. He wants his personal property back. He wants his property back. He wants his grandfather's ring back that he says that you have. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. When she gets the dog back, you get your personal property. Do you understand? Other than that, you get nothing.
It's already gone.
Now, good. So it's already gone. So then all I have to do is I have to dismiss your counterclaim, because that you're not getting back. If she has your grandfather's ring that you said has so much sentimental value to you, that's gone, along with your other stuff. Now, I don't believe he's going to give you back this dog. And the truth of the matter is, I think it's a good idea, because I think that there's something wrong with him. I think it's a good idea that you have no connection with him.
Me too.
Do you understand? And I think that you should get another dog, preferably smart, not a pit bull. You're not going to get this dog back from him. And if you do, he's going to be on your case.
I was planning on moving back to Portland.
Listen to me. He's going to be on your case, and there's something about him that's not balanced. I'm doing you a tremendous favor, because he is not wrapped too tight. He is one bottle short of a six-pack.
This is
Pay
all that
careful
he wants.
attention to me. Pay careful attention to me. He is one bottle short of a six-pack. And if you have something that he says he wants, he's never going to be away from you. So go and buy yourself another dog. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't want another dog. She spent 2 years of her life with me.
She's a psycho, and I've been dealing with this. She stalks me. She comes by my work 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
He's just doing this out of spite.
It's about her being crazy.
You can't be an adult to someone who doesn't want to be an adult themselves.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morin versus Baird. Step forward, please.
Photo technician Joanne Morin is suing her ex-fiancé, construction plans examiner James Baird, for the cost of a cruise ticket. James is countersuing for the return of a suit and for the cost of a vasectomy.
All right, Bert, I've read the papers in this case. Don't get comfortable. We're not going to be long. Okay. Miss Morin, you and the defendant dated. You were supposed to go on a cruise together. You couldn't go because a relative, I think your father, became ill. The defendant went with 2 of his children, but your son had paid for the cruise ticket. In any event, you say that he owes you $200. He says, more than happy to give you the $200, right? Give me back my suit that I left at your house. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the suit?
Yes, ma'am.
Give him the suit, Bert. I told you, this case has lots of little parts, but we're going to handle them all very quickly. Good. Now you have your suit. The suit goes on your side, and plaintiff gets $200. Are you happy? Good. On your side, you have a counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
Your counterclaim is twofold. A, you wanted your suit back, you got your suit. You want her, A, to give you back the engagement ring.
Oh, the money for it, yes.
Where's the engagement ring?
I have it with me right here.
Perfect.
You want to see?
No. Goes back. Goes to his team. Happy now? Almost.
Almost.
The other part, you're not going to even be happy that you raised, sir. You want her to pay for a vasectomy that she insisted that you have because she didn't want any more children.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Did she grab you by the hand and take you to the doctor?
No, she...
Very good. Then you don't get paid for the vasectomy. You're over 21, you made a choice. If you don't like the choice, you'd have to live with it or get it reversed. Goodbye and good luck. That takes care of this.
Parties are excused. You may step out. In the matter of Newens versus Newens. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Newens, when were you and the defendant married?
We were married in June of 1997. Or, excuse me, 1987.
And when were you divorced?
August of 1996.
Do you have children?
We have 4 children.
From 1987 till 1996, in what state did you reside?
From 1987 to 1996, we resided in California and in Wisconsin.
When did you reside in Wisconsin?
From 1992 to the beginning of 1994.
I ask you this because it is the timeline here is quite important.
Yes.
According to your complaint, after your divorce, you and your former wife were arrested here in California. And you were arrested on outstanding warrants from the state of Wisconsin for welfare fraud. According to you, there was an agreement between you and your former wife that if you paid whatever fines there were in Wisconsin, which amounted to $4,800, she would give you credit for $2,400 towards what you owed her in child support.
Correct.
Now you've been summoned to court, and you've been told by the judge that you have to pay those arrears, which are probably more substantial than $2,400.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said to her, what about the agreement we had, that you would give me credit for half of that? And she said, we don't have an agreement. So you want $2,400, which is her half of what you paid to the state of Wisconsin in order to get rid of all the charges pending against both of you.
Correct.
You were in the state of California when you were arrested, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Who told you that if you paid this $4,800, you wouldn't have to go back to Wisconsin to surrender yourself?
The district attorney of Outagamie County, Wisconsin.
Now, tell me what the welfare fraud was about from 1992 to 1994.
I believe it's for food stamps and medical aid.
How come there was fraud, sir?
I believe there was fraud because we left the state as we were on welfare to move back to California without notifying the welfare department that we were moving.
You were on welfare in Wisconsin.
We were not collecting money, Your Honor. We were collecting food stamps and we were collecting medical.
Benefits. You were collecting welfare benefits.
Yes.
Is that because you were unemployed?
I was unemployed at the time.
Who were you living with?
Nancy and I were renting a house.
Who paid for the rent on the house if you were unemployed?
We paid for the rent on the house.
How?
Because I got a job at installing garage doors. I wasn't employed the whole time. And it wasn't a sufficient amount of money to support the family. That's why we went for aid.
So your wife stayed at home with the children?
She did.
So you're telling me that they sued you for fraud for $4,800 because you left the state and they didn't have to pay you money anymore?
We basically left the state, and instead of tracking us down and figuring out that they wanted all of their benefits back, which totaled the $4,880.
Probably the only person in creation that I know that happens to. Usually they say, wow, they're out there with California's problem now. Now, Mr. Newens, how much do you owe in child support, sir?
$10,000 in child support and $10,000 in alimony.
How come you haven't paid any money?
Well, I've actually paid a lot of money, Your Honor. The reason being is because in the state of California, your ex-wife or whoever's receiving the support can go back at any time and ask for an audit of the payments, which she did. And I had a court order for my employers to pay her directly, which they did, but I had to prove it, and these two employers were no longer in business, so I could not find the record of payments.
So you're telling me that the judgment was entered against you and you have to pay arrears on $20,000 for money that you paid?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a lawyer representing you this time?
No, ma'am. But the litigation went for a whole year. Ma'am, I can't afford a lawyer. I work 60 hours a week to support 4 kids. My ex-wife, since the day we married, has not worked at all and still doesn't to this day. She solely relies on my support to support all 4 kids.
Let me ask you this question, Ms. Newens. Now we're going to come to you. He says that you were receiving partial benefits. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea why you were charged with welfare fraud?
It was explained to me when, without notifying the county about our moving, there was a warrant automatically slapped on because there was an outstanding amount that needed to be paid back, like $700 and some odd.
For what?
For overpayment is what they called it.
So you were notified that you were receiving overpayment of $700 while you were living in Wisconsin?
Yes.
And you left without paying that amount?
Yes. They were charging us interest and stuff because of penalties on that.
Now, your former husband says that he paid you this money, this $10,000 in child support and $10,000 in alimony. Is that true, that he's paid you this money?
I have, Your Honor, from the month, some partial payments, and for the last month of October, I received...
Look at me. Now you can speak.
Okay, I'm sorry. $29.90 for the month of October. $500 for the month of September, and before that, nothing. Payments are coming, and partial payments, whole payments, every now and then, off and on through the last couple of years.
Did they come right out of his check?
He's self-employed.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I would suggest you find yourself some way of earning a living that you enjoy, because otherwise you're going to be relying on him forever. And that's wrong.
And later today,
he had planned to get married, and there was an issue in that I was still married and needed to get a divorce.
That's what Ms. Harris said.
Yeah.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Todd Newen says ex-wife Nancy Newens owes for an unpaid loan for bail after they both were arrested for welfare fraud. Nancy says Todd doesn't pay his child support.
How long have you been self-employed, Mr. Newens?
Roughly 3 years.
So when you say that your employer, what employer are you talking about that you couldn't find?
The court order dates back to 1997. The amount in arrears they're asking for was for 97 and 98.
Just those 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so this proceeding had nothing to do with current arrears for the year 2000, 2001, 2002. Is that what you're telling me?
What they, I have a court order here that I got from them. What they dated it from 6 of 97 to 10/1 of 02 to make it current.
Mr. Newens, I don't know if you think that I'm not wrapped too tight. I asked you a question. The question I asked you was whether you were telling me that the arrears that they were talking about, that you just had a trial on, dealt with monies that you owed. You said from 97 and 98.
Correct.
And I said that they conducted a whole hearing for a year and didn't bring that amount up to the current date for arrears. And you said, oh, I have the order. And the order says that those were arrears that you owe from 97 to the year 02.
The reason why they did that, Your Honor, is because we were fighting for the last year in court over the amount of arrears. And it was my burden to prove that all my previous employers paid.
All right, forget the previous employees from 97 to 98. She says she has been receiving sporadic payments. Is that true? And now you're self-employed.
Yes, it is true.
Sometimes it's true. All right, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm going to get to it, Mr. Newens. Don't pussyfoot around me. Are you remarried?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. You have children with your new wife?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, let's start with August of 2002. How much money did you send to your former wife for child support and alimony in August of 2002?
Your Honor, I don't have that information with me, and the reason why I don't have that information with me is because it's quite irrelevant, because I have an order that you have before you stating the amount I have to pay in arrears of $200 per month.
That's perfect. So what are you bothering me for?
I'm asking for money owed that I paid $4,880 for, that I can't get credit through the County of San Bernardino for child support, which, had she not agreed to credit me half, I would have never made the payment. We would have flew back to Wisconsin and fought this battle in court.
So then I'm going to resolve it very quickly for you, sir.
Okay.
From 1992 to 1994, according to you, you had 2 young children, and your former wife was unemployed. She was taking care of the children. It was therefore your responsibility, your contractual responsibility with your former wife, to be the provider. You found that you could not be a provider for your wife and your 2 young children, so you were forced to apply to the state for certain benefits. Then you were advised that there was an overpayment of $700. Rather than taking care of that part of your financial responsibility before you left the state of Wisconsin, you decided to leave the state of Wisconsin and move to California. It was because of that that they issued a warrant for the both of you. You paid that amount. That's not for child support. That's not for spousal support. That's to reimburse the state for money that the state expended on behalf of you and your family because you could not fulfill your end of the contractual marital responsibility with your former wife. And in addition to that, you have continued to accrue arrears over the years, the last 3 years when you've been self-employed. Sometimes you pay, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you send a little, sometimes you send a lot. That doesn't excuse you from working at some point. Are you working now?
Yes, I am.
Good. What kind of work do you do?
Right now I do child care. And in the past I was doing dental assisting.
Well, I would suggest you find yourself some way of earning a living that you enjoy.
Exactly.
And if it's not child care, because child care sometimes is a temporary thing that you do when your children are very little, because that's a way to take care of your responsibility as a stay-at-home parent and also make some extra money. But I'm going to strongly urge you to find a career that you like, because otherwise you're going to be relying on him forever. And that's wrong for your support. You both have to support these children. You both made them now. You're not living together. You're not married. You both have to support them. But she certainly isn't going to give you back $2,400 for money that you owe the state of Wisconsin, sir. Your complaint's dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nancy's been on a free ride for many years, refusing to work.
Should be said and done, and it was over in court beforehand.
After she got out of jail, she's free, the bill's paid. It's the heck with me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Griffin versus Harris. Step forward, please.
Sales rep Aaron Griffin is suing his ex-girlfriend, nurse's aide Darlene Harris, for the return of his personal property and for having him falsely arrested. Darlene says Aaron broke into her apartment.
Mr. Griffin, you are suing the defendant, who was your former girlfriend, because you say she had you falsely arrested for burglarizing her property, when what you were actually trying to do was to get some of your stuff out because she had thrown you out. Ms. Harris said that you did, in fact, break in, and all the property that you wanted belonged to her. Is that right?
Right.
Were you living together?
I had my own home.
Is that right?
No, he was living in my house.
Did he also have his own home?
Well, yes.
What was your stuff doing in her apartment?
We had decided to spend 2 weeks together. After a few days, I recognized that she didn't have some items. She didn't have a television in the bedroom. She didn't have a living room set. So I decided to move some of my belongings from my home over to her residence.
What did you move over?
I brought over my living room set, a television.
Which consisted of what?
Consisted of a cherry oak table, 8 chairs. I also brought over a 19-inch television, a portable CD player, my clothing, some dishes, glasses, silverware, and also...
She didn't have any of that stuff?
She had some of it, but incomplete sets.
She didn't have enough for you to eat off for 2 weeks?
Well, I wanted to assist, and as I said...
You wanted to assist in what?
Assist her in some of the items that she didn't have.
And so after 2 weeks, it didn't work out. What happened, Mr. Griffin?
Well, we had planned to get married, and there was an issue in that I was still married and needed to get a divorce.
That's what Miss Harris said.
Yeah.
That's what Miss Harris said. She said when you brought the 8 chairs in, she didn't know you still had 8 chairs and a wife. Okay, so what happened?
She didn't apparently want to wait until I could get a divorce. So I decided that it was time for me to move out. That Monday morning, we had one final argument, and I left, but I did leave my belongings in the residence. The argument had gotten very bitter, and I decided that it was just best if I leave at that point.
That was smart.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Upon my return, I found that the defendant was not in her residence, and the door was locked. She had given me a key when I first arrived from Texas.
But she took the key off the ring.
Right, unbeknownst to me.
How do you retrieve your articles?
Well, actually, I came in through the side window. I kind of pushed it up and climbed in.
But how do you get them? You brought over table, chairs, TVs, CDs. Where were you going to put all this stuff?
Well, I was going to place all of the items that I could carry into my vehicle.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
A Mercury Sable.
Is it one of those expandable Mercury Sables?
No, Your Honor. It's average size.
So you weren't planning too well?
I guess not, no.
So what happened? You crawl into the house and you open up a window, crawl into the house, and what happened next, sir?
I commenced to packing my clothing and my luggage, and the doorbell rang. And when the doorbell rang, I went to the door thinking it was the defendant.
It wasn't the defendant, it was the...
Police, right. It was the police upon me opening the door, but I thought it was the defendant.
Okay, what you thought. What you thought was irrelevant.
Okay.
It's okay, so you opened the door and it was the police. Go ahead.
Correct. They asked me what my name was. I said Aaron Griffin. They said, you're now under arrest, and they charged me with burglary. The defendant indicated that she didn't know me.
Really?
I had broken in.
Just a second. Did you tell the police you didn't know him?
No. 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 I never told. No.
Should have told him to call his wife. She knows him.
Very well.
Were you there when she said she didn't know you?
They were actually leading me down the stairs of the porch.
And
she was standing in front of the house with the police.
Yes.
She said she didn't know me, that I had broken in.
That's pretty nasty if you did it.
I never said that. I never said that.
Okay. So let's talk about this report that you made to the police. Tell me about that.
I was coming up my street with my sister-in-law, and I saw his vehicle in my driveway. Shouldn't have been in my driveway because I had taken the key off the key ring. I was scared. We had an argument, you know, and I was...
So you called the police?
I called the police, and they met me at my house. They saw the window, and they arrested him.
They saw the window what?
It was broken.
How was it broken? The glass was broken?
Yes.
Did you break the glass?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you've left that out. You said you just pushed the window up a little bit. So you broke the window to get in?
Yes, I did.
That's not false arrest. You can't do that. It's not your house. You can't break a window to get in. So that takes care of your false arrest charge. Now you want all your furniture back.
Yes, I do.
Table, 8 chairs, 19-inch television, CD, dishes. You have all that stuff?
No, I do not.
Where is it?
I put it into the trash. I got rid of it.
Oh, no, Miss Harris, listen to me. You know how I caught him in fibs? That's a fib. You want to tell me what you did with his table and 8 chairs?
That's what I did with it.
Well,
I woke up one day and I was upset and I didn't want any reminder of him in my house, and I put that stuff out.
You put it out? Good.
Yes.
You pay for it. That was the wrong thing to do.
Well,
that was the wrong thing to do.
We were getting married and had a wife.
Listen to me. That was the wrong thing for you to do. You acted impulsively, and it was the wrong thing to do, so you have to pay for it.
Your Honor.
A, I don't believe that you just took it outside and threw it out. You may have given it to somebody.
Well, people in the neighborhood, I'm sure they came and took the stuff up off the curb.
Including
but
the
that's
television?
Exactly
including the television set?
Yes.
That's fine, then you pay for it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,250. But that's it, Mr. Griffin. That's all.
Parties are case number 495 on the calendar in the matter of Thrall versus Salinas. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Mrs. Thrall, it is your claim that the defendant's little boys did some damage to your recreational vehicle, throwing some rocks at it.
Yes, ma'am, they did.
And the defendants say either they didn't do it or if they did, they didn't cause any damage. Two of you, up here. One sit, one stands. Who's older? Tell me your name.
Charles Taylor Salinas.
You're Charles. And you?
Spencer Mark Salinas.
Have you ever watched this courtroom before?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And you know that I don't care what you told your mother, and I don't care what you told your father, and I don't care what you told the police. When I ask you a question, I expect one thing, and that is what?
The truth.
Right. Now, who was throwing the rocks in the direction of the recreational vehicle? Raise your hand. Really? Who was throwing rocks at a light post? Who was throwing rocks at all? What were you throwing rocks at?
The telephone wire.
And where was the recreational vehicle parked?
Clear over to the left behind all these trees. You couldn't see it because there was all these bushes in front of us.
So it was behind the bushes, but in the same line as the pole that you were throwing the rocks at?
No.
Then how do you think that the vehicle got damaged with rocks?
I don't know.
And you? You don't know. Now, was it right after you were throwing these rocks that Mrs. Thrall came to your parents' house?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So you think that that's just a coincidence, huh? You think it was a couple of other people who were throwing rocks that hit the truck?
Yes.
Tell me who you think it was.
We don't know because
why?
Because we don't know them.
Did you see Mrs. Thrall outside when you were throwing the rocks?
No.
Did you see her?
No.
What made you stop throwing the rocks?
Our grandma called us in.
Mm-hmm. Are you nervous? You should be. Go back and stand with your parents. Okay, Mr. Thrall, let me hear what you have to tell me.
Well, I heard something hit my house. I went out back because the dogs were barking to check on the dogs, and something flew past my ear. Well, I checked on the dog. He wouldn't come out, and these things kept pelting my trailer really hard. And I thought, well, what the hell's going on? Excuse me. And I looked up, and these two boys were standing there, and they were giggling and laughing. I says, what do you think you're doing?
Did you see the two boys?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are these the two boys you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And I told them, I said, you better get inside. I'm coming over to talk to your parents. And they took off running. So it took me a little while to walk out of my backyard and around the block. And I got to their house and knocked on the door. And a man answered the door. And I said, your children were out back pelting my trailer with rocks. I said, what are they doing that for? He says, I don't know that they were. And then they started crying.
Is this the man that you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
What did Miss Thrall say to you when she rang your bell?
Yes, I was visiting my mother's home that night, Your Honor, and so when I opened the door, I expected it was someone coming to see her. I
don't care what you were expecting. What did you say?
Mrs. Thrall was very upset, yelling and screaming. I asked her, could I help her first, and she said, your boys were throwing rocks in my trailer. And I asked the boys to come to the door. My oldest son, Taylor, began to cry.
Why do you think he began to cry?
Because of the intimidation of Mrs. Thrall.
Oh, no. Get real. He wasn't crying because Mrs. Thrall was intimidating him. He was crying because he got caught.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure.
I believe it was because he was intimidated by her.
I don't care what you believe, sir.
She said my son needed...
That's why we have Littleton and Columbine, because parents don't want to look for things in a real way. Now, what would make you think that this lady, who doesn't look like she's heavily sedated or medicated, would come to your house and blame two little boys that looked like butter would melt in their mouth for throwing rocks at her RV at a time, sir, when your boys had been outside throwing rocks?
Your Honor, my boys were out in the back and they were throwing rocks at a telephone wire, and I believe that. As far as the damage to the trailer, I wasn't certain to that because
Just a minute, we're not talking, listen to me.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to the damage yet. We're talking about rocks hitting her trailer. You have two defenses. A, it wasn't them, and B, there was no damage. Correct?
Yes.
So, we are eliminating your first defense and theirs. The rocks that they threw hit her RV and almost hit her and scared her dog. So let's not even talk about the damage first. I would like to know what you said to your sons when they admitted to you that they were throwing rocks.
I told them, one, that that wasn't the right thing to do, but I asked them why were they throwing the rocks and if they hit the trailer. I didn't raise my boys to throw rocks and to damage people's property. So I asked them, similar to what you're doing today, questions.
So?
Were you out there throwing rocks? Yes. Did you hit the trailer? Okay, and they told me no, they did not hit the trailer. I asked them if they heard anything break, any damage, and they said no.
Okay. And so what did you do then?
All right, then I continued. Then I talked to Mrs. Thrall.
Forget Mrs. Thrall. What did you do there? They're outside, they're throwing rocks. How were they punished?
Well, first of all, I talked to them. Okay, I wanted to get their story. I've told them we do not throw rocks at people's property. That night when Mrs. Thrall was there at the door, I even told them, boys, if you did this, this is wrong. Come up and apologize to her if this is what you did. Okay, and the boys sat there and they were crying. All right, well, Taylor was, and because she continued to tell us that he needed to be on drugs and therapy that night, Your Honor. That is what led the boys to start crying, was her insisting that my boys were vandals and that they had done their...
They were vandals, sir. They vandalized your property. You should have gone out and looked at her property.
I offered to, Your Honor.
So, did you look at her property?
No, she wouldn't let me go down there. I asked her if I could go down and examine the property, and I said, if my boys did any damage, I will be willing to take care of it. Please let me know. And I have a letter...
just a second. Is that true?
No.
I didn't think so.
Your
Not
Honor.
from reading his answer. What happened when you went to the door? You got a little bit crazed when you went to the door.
I tried to stay as calm as I could. I went to the door.
But you weren't so calm.
Yeah, I rang the doorbell. He answered the door. I told him that two young boys on his property were throwing rocks at my property and had no business doing so. I suggested that maybe they needed to be in football, basketball, or hockey, something outdoor sports to get them away from this sort of thing. And I told him that there was damage done to my trailer and possibly to my dog because I couldn't get him out from underneath the trailer. And he just looked at me and said, yeah, right. He didn't offer to come look at my trailer. He never once implied it. I went home, called the police, had them come by. They took a police report. And
can I see the police report, please?
Yes, ma'am. And they took pictures. I even have a picture outside my kitchen window as to what the property looked like. And they told the police officer that they were aiming at the pole, which is on my property. And I have the estimate for the damages done on the trailer. They start at $4,000 and going up for the internal damage of the property.
Just a minute. Police asked Spencer and Charles what happened. They told me they were throwing rocks at a power pole and they accidentally broke the window. Police are lying here?
There are two items in that report.
Are they lying in that line?
No.
So that the boys broke the window.
Your Honor, my boys were told that they were going to be taken to kid jail by the officer.
Oh, please.
Your Honor,
Oh, please,
my boys were threatened and told that they would go to kid jail for things, and they could be put on...
Listen to me. You keep it making excuses for your children, and you're going to find, as they grow older, because of what you did, they were able to sit there and lie like rugs.
Your
Look
Honor.
me square in the eye and say to me that they didn't do anything. And yet, when the police interviewed them immediately afterwards, they said that they were throwing rocks at the power pole and accidentally broke a window. And now you're saying to me that it was all because she intimidated them, the police intimidated them, I intimidated them. And what I'm telling you is they were able to get over on you and have your full support, so they were able to sit there and lie to me. And if you don't nip it in the bud, mister, you're going to spend a lot of time in court with these two angel-faced boys. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Completely.
Now, my question to you, Miss Thrall, is you had had difficulty prior to this. Was the kids throwing rocks at your RV?
Yes, ma'am, ever since I moved in.
Okay. And not always these boys?
No.
So it was just this time you caught these boys?
Right.
Okay, and the boys admit that they broke the window?
Right.
Okay, so we have the damage to the window. Good. Let me see your estimate for the damage to the window.
I had caught the boys a few times prior to that and filed police reports, but they refused to do anything about it.
You mean these boys?
Yes, ma'am.
These boys?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, that is
They
not
tried
the
to talk
case.
me out of it, saying that the boys would be severely damaged if they happened to go to court and get reprimanded for it.
That's not the case.
The police department we had at the time, and their parents.
And I've since...
Just a minute. You've actually spoken to Mr. Salinas before?
Not him, his mother.
His mother?
Yes.
So his mother was taking care of the boys?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times prior to this incident was it these boys?
3 other times.
Okay, now
Your
let me
Honor,
see.
that's not the truth.
I don't know whether it's the truth or not. She says it is. You don't know. You weren't there. How much did you give her for the window that your boys broke?
Your Honor, I didn't give her anything. I offered to take care of it.
You never offered me a dime. I don't think you ever did. I honestly don't believe you ever did.
Your Honor, I've also got, without knowing the exact make and model of the trailer, I did also get an estimate as well for the repair to the window.
And what did you get?
$88.28.
And how much is your
for the
estimate
window.
for the window?
Well, for the window, they damaged the outside of the RV as well as the inside from the water damage.
What water damage?
It has a nice little screen on the top of it. They pelted that real good and broke it, and the water got in there and damaged the inside of it. That's what some
Let
of
me
those
explain
pictures show.
something to you, madam. This is not a windfall for you. If there was water damage, you should have covered the window. Do you understand?
I did with a plastic
Good.
container.
Fine.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
So she had an accident with a jet ski with a boat that you also owned. So how could you sue her for any damages?
I know that she did not have permission to drive the jet ski.
Impossible. Didn't steal it. And you weren't there.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deborah Thrall says 11-year-old Taylor Salinas and his brother, 9-year-old Spencer, damaged her RV by pelting it with rocks.
How old was this RV?
It's a 69 Beauvais.
Okay.
Bull Zero.
It's made out of solid metal.
It's 1969 RV. When was the last time you used it?
Last year.
Well, the date of this report was July 2001.
Yes.
So last year was 2002, so you used it in 2002.
I used it for a short time, for about a week.
Fine. Did you have the window fixed?
No, ma'am. They told me they had to special order it.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Your Honor.
Mr. Hall, let me explain something to you. I don't like tall tales no matter who tells them. I don't deal as much with it with adults because you're fully cooked. You're going to tell tall tales. I'm going to call them what they are. They're lies. Don't lie to me about any question that I ask you. If you lie to me, believe me, it doesn't serve you well.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to get anything close to what you're looking for.
All the damage that was done to that trailer was done by those boys.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I think that it's probably an attractive nuisance.
May I show you some other pictures that I've taken, Your Honor?
Sure.
That show the exact state of the trailer. Ms. Thrall has also been in trouble with the Parma police for public nuisance in the garbage in the backyard. They've been asking her to clean it up.
Mr. Salinas, I'm interested in the damage that your sons did to her property. Okay. Stop making excuses and telling me that she leaves garbage out there when she shouldn't. That is nonsense. You want to show me pictures of the trailer?
Certainly.
I'll be happy to see them.
Excuse me, how'd you get on my property?
I wasn't on your
Just
property.
a second. Don't speak to him.
Sorry.
Along with that, Your Honor, I did approach 3 different RV dealers in town. I didn't know the exact make
There's
and
no
model.
question before you, sir.
I just wanted to clarify the pictures for you.
Well, it's clear to me this is
If you
not
will-
worth a whole bunch of money.
If you will, the gas tanks on it and the tires, Your Honor, have been flat since it moved there. So I don't know how it could have been used.
Listen to me.
Your Honor.
I don't believe the whole thing is worth more than a couple $100. She says to the police, she told me that the dents and windows cost approximately $200. That's what she told the police in July of 2001. Now she's suing for $4,000. I mean, she must be smoking something. She's going to get what she's going to get is $200, which is closer to the figure, because that's what she told the police. But that's what they're responsible for, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think she probably got $200 too much, and she's making a history of doing these kinds of things.
He won't hold his kids accountable. They did all that damage to my trailer, and it was in perfect condition until they made it an object for abuse.
And the lesson has been learned. Throwing rocks can cause trouble. Malicious vandalism? No. And not intentional.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Searle versus Rourke. Step forward, please.
Retired police officer Jeffrey Searle is suing his daughter's former friend, 19-year-old student Sarah Rourke, for the cost to fix his boat and his jet ski.
Mr. Searle, do you have any witnesses here with you today?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
I ask you that question for a very good reason. According to what I've read, sir, you purchased a jet ski for your stepdaughter,
That's correct.
and it was delivered to a house that you have on the lake. And at the time, your stepdaughter was there, your wife was there, the defendant was there, a couple of other people. And then you left, that's what you told me in here, in order to go to take the person who had delivered the jet ski back to their lair, wherever they were going. And when you came back to the lake, you heard that the defendant had been on the jet ski, had an accident, and the jet ski was damaged. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
But you have no witnesses, sir, to testify as to what happened.
That's correct, Your Honor.
How do you plan to prove your case of negligence?
I do have an accident report from the investigating agency.
That doesn't help me. You have to come into court being prepared to prove your case. The defendant's position is she had an accident with this jet ski. She had your stepdaughter's permission to drive it, correct? Mm-hmm. Nobody's alleging that she stole it. Your wife was there. You weren't there, but your wife was certainly there and did nothing to prevent her from taking the jet ski. She had an accident, and the accident was with another vehicle. Is that right?
Yes.
What other kind of vehicle?
It was a boat.
And who owned the boat?
Jet.
So she had an accident with a jet ski with a boat that you also owned. Who said it wasn't the boat's fault?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So how could you sue her for any damages?
I know that I am aware that she did not have permission to drive the jet ski.
Impossible. She didn't steal it. And you weren't there. And I guarantee you, if your stepdaughter was there and her mother was there... By the way, who was the first person to drive the jet ski?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yes.
The person who was given the jet ski as a gift.
Right.
And did you drive it second?
Yes.
When Kelly drove the jet ski, she went around the lake a couple of times?
Yes.
And then did she come back to the dock?
I'm not sure.
Well, something happened.
From what I was told,
I don't want you to tell me what you were told. She got on the jet ski. There's no question in my mind that she did not steal the jet ski. That what happened there was a whole bunch of people around. Your stepdaughter drove the jet ski. Then she said, "Can I drive it next?" And you're claiming that she didn't have real permission because your stepdaughter is underage. Is that right?
Well, partially. Also, my wife did indicate to her to return to the dock that she was not allowed to make that change in the water, at which point they ignored that and drove off.
You can't tell me that, sir.